Oh!
Yeah!
The Ireland trip rolls on, and we have a full recap of Royal County Down. We rank our golf courses. We've got Kevin Kisner coming on this show. He's playing in the PGA Tour event at Colonial this week, so it's a lovely, lovely show. Packed. Bryson, maybe a direct response possibly to Francis's comments. Francis is on the show. It's all brought to you by Chevy. That's the main point. The Chevy Equinox. It's your do-it-all SUV from your daily drives, your weekend trips, your last-minute tee times. They've got great cargo space, hidden storage under the rear floor. We know that because we roll deep with gear. We've got a camera equipment all over. I'm looking at boxes, gigantic boxes, golf bags, travel bags, all of it. We're on the road all the time, 200 days a year, whatever it might be, and we're in that Chevy Equinox all the time.
The Chevy Equinox. Shout out to Chevrolet for being a part of the brand for so many years, and yeah, we're in the midst of a trip of a lifetime, and it wouldn't be able to happen without brands like Chevrolet putting their name behind our name. So a lot of fun has been had this week, and we've got a lot of stuff in the future with Chevrolet that we are very excited about. So thank you to Chevrolet and the Equinox. We love it.
The bold, athletic, and confident style of the Equinox looks just as good at the golf course as it does off the map. Active trim is awesome. Big touchscreen, awesome. Puts all your music, your maps, and tech front and center. So a big thanks to Chevy and the Equinox for supporting this show. Chevy Equinox is your do-it-all, go-anywhere SUV. Foreplay, presented by Barstool Sports. We come to you yet again from the Sleeve Donard here in County Down. We're in the town of Newcastle in Ireland. We played Royal County Down yesterday. We're going to speak much about that, I'm sure. But the trip rolls on. So much so that we're sitting here debating flying home early because we've been in Ireland for a long time. This is going to be 3 consecutive shows I think people listen to where we're in Ireland, which is a big stretch for them because those shows come out like 9 days apart, so or like a week apart. So we're still here. We've got Royal Portrush tomorrow, which is really just a phenomenal way to kind of put a bow on the trip, it feels like. And then we're off to the Dublin area and eventually flying home. But much to get to. Kevin Kisner, you haven't heard from him for a while because he's not on this trip, but he's playing Colonial this week. He's won there before. They gave him a sponsor's invite to play in the tournament on the weekend. You know, CBS is doing the broadcast, so it'd be quite interesting if Kiz can make the cut and be playing professional golf on the weekend. He hasn't, I don't think, played on tour since November, which was the RSM Classic, which is another one that he's won before, had a lot of good results in. So I know he treated that like sort of a big deal of him going to the RSM last year. We've talked about it before, but Kiz, for a long time, was top 50 in the career money earnings on the PGA Tour. And there's a special exemption if you're in the top 50 that you have PGA Tour status. So Kiz has always had that status. He hasn't had the results over the last 2 or 3 years that he's wanted, so he has moved outside of that top 50. Therefore, he has very, very limited access or basically no access unless he's getting sponsors' invites. So that's why he's playing this week. We're going to hear from him second half of the show. Kiz is doing like the Pro-Am, and then he's gonna jump on, and we're going to get a nice refresh from Kiz. But speaking of Kiz, we also have to mention the Sabonic video. We did same format. We were out in the Hamptons. I know we talked about it a lot when we were there, but we were out in the Hamptons. It was an incredible 2 or 3 days that we had out there. Frankie, with his connections, was able to set us up. We stayed at Sabonic. We played Shinnecock. We put that video out. It was awesome. We kind of came up with this format of taking our handicaps, maybe adjusting a little bit, and then just playing ball and hole against Kevin Kisner, seeing if he could chase any or all of us down at Shinnecock. I don't want to give away the full result if you haven't watched, but it came down to the very last putt, which was awesome. We're running that same format back at Sabonic. Sabonic hosted the 2013 U.S. Women's Open, so we played those same tees, and we came up with the same scoring. We started at a certain number under par, I think 15 under, myself and Frankie. Trent was 25 under. It was windy. It was chilly, but Sabonic is a much more wide open course. It wasn't as long as Shinnecock, and we just kind of saw how we did. So that video should be out now. Make sure you check that out. Otherwise, it's nice to be here in Ireland still, I guess.
There was much talk on the last episode about massages, massage cancelizations.
Right.
A couple of massages have happened. since last recording. Actually, this morning, if anybody wants to give their review of that experience.
Just came from a massage.
Yeah.
Haven't gone back to the room. Literally got off the table straight to the podcast. Feel like a bowl of gelatin right now.
Okay.
You know, probably more than I usually do because I'm pretty soft. I like massages. I think I get a little bit nervous going into them because I'm probably not the best body that they've seen in there working on it. They can feel a lot of like the bony structures and they can feel all the knots that they're getting out of me. And it's a little bit, you know how, do you get self-conscious when they start picking at certain knots and
Sure.
It's just popping and popping and popping? And you're like, I know it's not supposed to be doing that.
Yeah, you're just kind of laying your body naked, basically, out there in front of a stranger. It's very nerve-wracking, for sure. But I always think about, like, the other bodies that they see.
True.
Must be horrific.
I was a delicate delight, I bet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I know that I'm doing them a favor with my body, which is
Right.
why I don't tip.
No, it felt good, though. She said I had the softest feet she's ever felt.
I wasn't sure if you were going to talk about that.
Something I got to deal with.
You have the softest feet she's ever felt.
Masseuse feels a lot of feet.
Tons.
Wow.
Something weird about it.
Huh.
Now I'm thinking, like, am I not blue collar enough? But I don't think that equates to feet tenderness and
That's
Right.
interesting. That must be the added cushion and comfort of the Adidas golf shoes.
Oh,
Yeah.
very nice.
Mm.
Yeah, no, it was a delightful little massage. I will say that we had 4 massages booked if we're going to get into the nitty gritty of it.
Sure.
Francis was one of those, and he let that. And then there was even text messages sent around saying, "Hey, Francis, if you're not going to use that, maybe Booze could take it, maybe Brendan could take it, maybe Trent could take it." And that went to no response. And then that massage kind of just didn't get used.
I seem to recall a number of pretty concrete conversations last night where I was like, yeah, I'm definitely not going to use that massage tomorrow.
I remember you saying that too, but then it was said that Francis would use it.
I don't know where that came from because I was not.
I think where the miscommunication came, where it was up to you to then bestow that massage onto someone.
I agree with
Oh my God. I would never dare to have such an honor.
Fair enough.
But
that. I did. There was a 10 a.m. massage, and I got a phone call from the spa about 10:40. And they were like, yeah, nobody showed up yet, but if they do, you know, they can still use the treatment. So then I texted Brendan. I was like, if you want to send somebody else.
Oh,
But
nice.
I think it was too late. I think at that,
Mm.
at that
Oh.
point,
Well,
or they decided it was too late.
Trent, I sense that you're a little mad at me, so I got you a present.
I'm not mad at you.
Oh, what's in there?
I want to be clear. I was not. The massage was offered up to me, and I was like, give it to one of the guys.
What do you got there?
Oh, my.
Is that a cheesecake?
Gotta be more cheesecake.
No, it's a cinnamon roll.
This frosting is so
I had a feeling you might like that.
Let's get a look at that thing.
Look at this thing.
Oh, my
Yeah.
God.
come
Oh, no.
on. Oh,
Good
Trent!
catch, good catch.
I got it.
That's worse than what I did with the massage.
You're right. We're even. We're even. Look at that.
Where did we go where someone told us about the cinnamon rolls? Wasn't there a conversation
it,
that we
Bruce.
had with someone about a cinnamon roll? It was a caddy somewhere, Trent, and he was like, you got to try. It was like a local delicacy, and we had asked about it. No.
Boy, I don't remember.
Okay.
Sorry.
You can eat that whenever you want.
I think it's going to happen now. If
Do
that's
Yeah, you
where
can put your
I
mic
think it
down.
should.
And just we'll carry the show while you eat that.
Thank
'Cause
you.
I think everybody would prefer if you ate it.
Okay.
Oh, it was Charlie Hull, and she was talking about that cinnamon roll. Remember that?
Wow.
I do remember that now.
And yeah, maybe
Tailor-made
that's
media day.
maybe that's a similar one
Dude,
since
this
we're
thing
over here
looks
in the UK.
fantastic. Thank you very much.
Oh, you're
Francis.
welcome.
That's
You're
awesome.
welcome. I don't want my guy going hungry.
No, that can't happen.
It's a nice move, man.
Yeah, that's a good move.
Wow,
Look
look
at
at that
this.
thing.
Yes.
Dude, what?
Confident attack.
What is on that? What is that? It's like a 2-tiered. No, the bottom part's like right
Yes.
on a waffle.
Oh, it makes me so happy.
This is worth the view on YouTube if you're listening to the podcast. Go to the
Give this
YouTube
a
channel
view, man.
and go watch. What is it? We're probably 3 minutes into the thing. Go skip to Trent eating a cinnamon roll because it is extremely good viewing.
It's gonna brighten up your day.
Mm-hmm.
Before we get into Royal County Down and just to put a bow on the Sabonic thing, I think it's really cool that you get a pro golfer like Kevin Kisner at a local elite club that they don't typically get to play. It's a little bit more playable than the Shinnecocks and all the open venues. You get a place like Shinnecock, like Sabonic that gets a lot of, just like average golf play. And it's obviously one of the most elite golf courses on the island and in the world. But to have him out there and seeing what he would shoot amongst the regular members that get to play there every day, I think is a really cool thing to see how he plays at like a non-PGA Tour venue.
Yeah, it was awesome to to watch him out there, and him mixing it up with us in our games and it being competitive where we're against him, but he's also helping us with our swings, with our moves, with whatever. It's just a very fun dynamic with kids, and he's just great on camera. I mean, he hits the ball like you wouldn't believe. Make sure you scope that out, the latest on YouTube, and it's just visually spectacular. I mean, Sobonic is off the charts. It's right on the sound right there. Tom Doak, Jack Nicklaus combination. Did you destroy that?
Cleaned that up.
He's going to wash it down now. Look at that. That's a beautiful
Good
process.
start to the
Made me
day.
so happy.
Nice.
I'm gonna start doing that every day.
Francis loves giving Trent treats.
I like it because I like them too.
Yeah.
And we're treats brothers, brothers and treats. Yeah.
Royal County down, man. Royal County down.
I have a quick question.
Sure.
Do any of you have any idea what brings about the designation of Royal for these golf courses? We're playing Royal Port Rush today. Obviously, there's Royal Melbourne. There's all these, Royal courses.
No.
Why are they? How do they get that? How does that happen?
We'll look it up.
It's a really good question.
Royal Birkdale, right?
Yeah.
Royal. There's a bunch of Royals.
Royal Lytham and St. Anne's. It's a lot of the open road at courses, obviously, but not all of them. The old course is not Royal. Is it Royal St. Andrews?
No,
No, it's
I don't
not.
believe so. I believe it's just St. Andrews.
Should I have shared any of that cinnamon roll with you?
No.
Okay.
You
After I ate it, I thought he brought that to me and I gave him none.
I was eating it through you.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just didn't. Yeah.
If you'll watch the tape back, when you open your mouth for a bite, I went.
Okay, you're living vicariously.
Yes, exactly right. I felt like I was controlling you.
It was a very good cinnamon roll.
Yeah.
That's a really interesting question about the royal designation. I don't know.
Not sure either.
Yeah.
That's good. There's got to be something. You
All
can't
right, I
just
found
be.
a Town and Country article that says, why does Royal Port Rush Golf Club have Royal in its name? It became Royal. Oh, the changing names have to do with the British royal family and the history of royal golf clubs. And it's going to go into this whole entire thing. In 1892, the then Duke of York, later King George V, became the club's royal patron. And in the institution, they added royal to the title because he became the royal patron of the golf club.
Does that just mean he played it one time?
I believe so.
He's a patron?
So if any
In
royal
1895,
member,
the patronage changed to his father, Prince Albert Edward, later King Edward VII, becoming Royal Port Rush around the world. Around 70 golf clubs have Royal in their title. Officially, clubs must apply for the Royal title, and only the sovereign has authority to grant it. Furthermore, the grants of the Royal title and Royal patronage are separate honors.
so it's kind of like getting knighted.
Yeah.
Feels like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It has the
Imagine
Duke of
that's like-
Windsor playing golf at Royal Port Rush in 1962. So yeah, it's a golf. It's almost like their club.
That's an interesting part of their daily task that would come across the Royals' desk. It'd be like, hey, this club's applying to be a Royal status. Nope, not today.
Not today.
Are there any golf courses in Ireland, not Northern Ireland, that have the royal designation? Or do they just say, we don't want it, fuck the kingdom?
I don't know, but Port Rush, it's got a tough one. 1999, Prince Andrew. That's how they got that. So
Not great.
that's not how they got it, but he became the royal patron.
Mm-hmm.
So, Queen Elizabeth stripped her son of all of his royal patronages.
Sure.
Patronages? Patronus charm?
Patronus.
Patronus.
That led Andrew to lose his honorary titles at Royal Port Rush, Royal Belfast, and Royal County Down. Well done, Queen.
Well, that happened in the
Rest
last
in
couple of
peace.
years, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
what, those courses have lost their...
No, he lost his patronage at those golf clubs. So
he
they're
can't
no
play
longer-
there anymore.
No.
Wow.
Wow.
I don't think
It
he
says
can
the
play
Royal
anywhere.
Dublin.
The Royal Dublin?
It's on my list. That I just Googled it. I don't know if that's real or not, but it
That
says
sounds right.
the Royal Dublin. It says in Northern Ireland, there's Royal Port Rush, Royal County Down, Royal Belfast. Wales, there's Royal St. David's, Royal Porthcrawl. Scotland's got a bunch, England's got a bunch. And then Canada's, there are some in Canada.
Yeah.
Royal Montreal, Royal Ottawa, Royal Colwood, Royal Quebec, Royal Regina, and Royal Mayfair. Australia's got a bunch. South Africa's got a bunch.
We don't have any.
No.
No, but we're not part of the Commonwealth, right?
No,
Good point.
no, we're not.
That's a good point.
There's one in Zimbabwe.
Yeah,
Boys
these
up.
former colonies.
Yeah.
That's right. That's interesting. It's a good question. Anyways, Royal County Down. We got it on a 1 of 1 day, I would say.
Yeah.
Sounds like. It was like 75 degrees, sunny, very little wind.
Yeah.
It was shining. It was sparkling. It was very, very on par in terms of excitement mixed with nervous anxiety level for tee shots that I can recall hitting before at a Cypress or a Pebble or an Oakmont or a Shinnecock, where it just felt like one of those golf swings that you're going to remember forever. Is like walking up to the first tee. You want the round to go well so badly. It's one of those that, Royal County Down, with it being in Northern Ireland and the ranking that it has and like almost the mythical aura that it has, like I never really thought I would ever play Royal County Down. Pebble Beach, I think you could always kind of maybe see as a kid of like you can go pay and book a room and play at some point. Maybe I'll be successful later in life and be able to do that with my dad or brother. Who knows? Royal County Down's like on another planet. It's like in another solar system. I just never thought I would ever get there. So when you're walking up to that tee, you're going to hit the first tee shot. It's a par 5. There's basically the ocean on the right. There's dunes on the left. I kind of got that, and I'll remember that like jittery feeling forever of standing on that tee, hoping to God that it goes well. And I just don't think there's that many places that can deliver that.
Yeah, I agree. It really did. The tone is set right when you walk in, and we're lucky enough to be staying at the Sleeve Donnard, which is on property. So you walk right out of your hotel room across the street, or it's not even across the street. It's in the backyard, and they have this little gate that you walk through that says Royal County Down. And then you're just on property. It's an amazing clubhouse, an amazing pro shop. I love the aesthetic of it. It's this big white building. I think it was a red roof, which was very distinctive, and it was an amazing first tee-ball feeling and just vibe. And my caddy, he had told me that he thinks that in May that was the best day at Royal County Down of his lifetime.
Oh my God.
In terms of weather.
Yeah.
We got it literally the best May day that he's ever seen. And he's a member there.
And he was like 100 too.
He was 100 years old.
He was an old guy.
Yeah.
He was.
He was 100 years old.
He was.
So yeah, it was an incredible day, man. Just from beginning to end. We're obviously not going to give away too much. We have such good content coming out from this entire Ireland trip. So many videos. I've been getting a lot of messages being like, I can't believe you guys are still there. This is going to be some of the best series you guys have ever put out. I mean, it's video after video, the best courses on this island. And the fact that we got to film at Royal County Down is pretty phenomenal. And it was a great match, a great day. I think everyone was up for it, and I think people are going to enjoy it. I really do. It's something about that mountainous, the mountain backdrop.
Yeah.
I said it almost has this like weight on your chest the whole time. It's like the course itself is incredible. Blind shots everywhere, but then the reveals are outrageous. It's that, I think it's called the Mountains o' Mourne. The Mourne Mountains.
Yeah.
They are just like, it's Inception almost, where they almost feel like they're getting bigger as the round goes on. And they're in view of 13, 14 holes. I mean, there's really not that many holes that go away from it. It's amazing. And when they do go away from it, you got the ocean on the right, like you said. So, yeah, it's number 1 in the world outside the U.S., and that's for good reason. I mean, it really lived up to all the hype, in my opinion.
Yeah, it was spectacular. I agree with that. With the mountains, you don't really expect that over here in links golf. I think it was either Martin or one of the caddies made the point that you really don't, or it might have been Kevin on the last show, where you don't really get links golf at the foot of a mountain range ever.
Yeah.
Like St. Andrews, by its very nature, is like 7 links courses within the St. Andrews Trust and links property. And that's because it's like all flat out on the coast, and that's what links land is. And at most, you get sort of a dune bag where you get links land with some really cool dune features that add interesting movement to the land. This one is not only the mountains, but it's like you can see the church steeple and a bit of the skyline that just, it has almost this like religious and spiritual feel to it when you're looking back. Or when you're playing the second half of the front 9, the second half of the back 9, which goes back towards the clubhouse in the town of Newcastle. So the mountain range, kind of the really historic, like beautiful skyline, if you want to call it that, of the town, and then the landscape, which was just phenomenal. It was, again, kind of shining yesterday with the sunlight. Like the mown, well-kept grass. The conditions were perfect, but had that like light green shine to it among sort of the rugged dunes and tall grass and bunkers. And is it the fourth hole? That's the par 3 that we turn back towards.
Yeah.
Is it gorse or gorsh?
Gorse.
I kind of like gorsh.
Yeah, I've been saying gorse.
Feels
I want
gorsh.
that noted. But I heard some people putting a little bit of zhush at the end of it. Gorsh.
Gorsh sounds like a beer in Germany.
The gorse was in full bloom, which is
Yeah.
not that often as well.
Beautiful.
You don't see that often.
I mean, you hit it. I'll hit into it a few times, but it's still beautiful.
It's got that yellow orange hint
Yeah.
to it.
Yeah.
It is beautiful.
Pop of color.
I loved it, but I'm still going to put Truly ahead of it.
Truly's
That's very
incredible.
interesting.
I'm still going to go Truly ahead of RCD for me.
And I don't think that's crazy.
No.
It's just, you know.
I mean, the people who rank and the people who really get into this stuff, they're gonna say that's crazy.
Sure.
But who cares? Like,
Fuck those people.
I agree
For sure.
At the end of the day, who cares? It's whatever you like.
Yeah.
And for like Tralee being the first course that that we saw in terms of Ireland, and I know you'd been here, but I don't think you played Tralee the first time around that we
No.
were here. So that was there was something about that place that was gorgeous and beautiful, and I loved Royal County Down as well. But like, I think you saying that is not as ridiculous as some people might think.
Weird. Give me your rankings of the ones we've played so far. Just say 1 and 2, maybe.
1 and 2. Oh wow. See, I do think I like Tralee the most.
Yeah, there you go. Look
I
at
really
us.
did. I'm
Couple of
willing to jump. I'm
tastemakers.
willing to jump off that bridge with you if you
Let's
want.
do it. Mm.
And I really do. It has part of it has I played a little bit better at Tralee. It was the first experience I had in Ireland. I really liked the vibe of that place. Don't get me wrong, Royal County Down is great. It lives up to the hype that everyone's talked about, and these guys have described it in a very accurate way. But there was just something about Tralee that I loved.
Yeah.
I loved it dearly.
Yeah, me too.
So again, that's probably outrageous and borderline sacrilegious to some people that are listening to this, but I don't care.
I love that attitude for sure. And I fight a little bit of like wanting, like, am I falling victim to saying, like, if I think Royal County Down was the best, saying it just because that's what the rankings say, and
Yeah.
like feeling like you're supposed to say that. So
And I don't even think those people, they know more than I do in terms of like the history and probably the architecture of it and all of that. So they're basing it in a place that is very real, but I was just visually and the way that I felt, it's all very subjective. So I was just like, the way that I felt and the way that I took in the golf course and the way that I played, that's the one thing that I don't think everyone factors that in, but some people aren't honest about it.
Yeah.
Where it's like, if you play really well somewhere, I love that place.
for sure.
Yeah.
Sorry, like I play, maybe I didn't play as well at Royal County Down, which I didn't, and I don't, maybe spoiler alert, but like truly, I just had a better time, and that's it. It's a better memory.
Yeah, I played similar both days, Tralee and Royal County Down, so I feel like I was pretty much on. Like I felt like I was hitting good golf shots.
Yeah, you were.
I was utilizing what the caddy was giving me in terms of where to hit it and hit certain shots to let it run up, or hit the right side of the green and let it trickle down. So both places I had an unbelievable experience, but I'm going to put Royal County Down just a little bit higher than it. I love Tralee. I even showed Brendan pictures of Tralee while we were at Royal County Down, saying, look at that. Like, let's not forget how good that place was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some second shots, third shots into those greens at Tralee. They were built into these mounds with the ocean in view at basically every single hole. That place was phenomenal, but there were some times where I was on a tee box at Royal County Down where I felt like I was inside a snow globe city or something. One
Yeah.
of those fake towns with the steeple and the mountain, and just you could see certain cars just going around these windy roads going towards the mountain. And yeah, it was I think I'm gonna fall victim to just saying the number one course in the world was my number one.
There's nothing wrong with
I
that.
know.
And I feel similarly. And I do. I sort of like views matter, like views matter. So when I look at Tralee, it was, I think every single hole at Tralee was a wow, pull out your phone hole. Every
Correct.
single one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Royal County Down isn't the same on that level. And views matter in the sense of like, go look at home prices. House prices with views of the ocean
Mm-hmm.
are significantly more expensive than homes that aren't. So like views to us as humans clearly matter. The market has determined that. So I'm with you where it's like, I'm not going to sit here and this is something that I fight where like, you don't want to be some architectural snob where it almost people feel inclined to devalue views because they think it's taking away from their prowess of knowing golf course
Right.
purity and all that. So I also don't want to be that fucking loser that does that. So I fight a lot of that. And what I kind of do go back to is like, I'm such a history guy and I'm such a like tradition guy that's always made a big impact on me. The history of Royal County Down. When we had Kevin on, he was talking about the Wednesday, Saturday hat game at Royal County Down. When it says 1896 or whatever it says on the back of the hat, that matters to me. When it has this prestige in the view that I've played golf holes that have views of the ocean like we had at Tralee. Not the same because it was Ireland and there's broken castles and all that, but views of the ocean, whereas the views that like Frankie was describing of the mountains of Moore and the steeple, I've never seen anything like that in my life. And you're playing that golf course. And then the feeling that I had was just different when I was trying to hit shots than the feeling that I had playing Tralee. It just was. Like that first tee shot was, one of 5 feelings that I've ever had in golf of like, holy fuck, I'm at Royal County Down, I'm about to hit this tee shot. And that tee shot on 4 of that like part 3. And then the other part from like a golf course, whether it's architecture, layout, playability, whatever it is like there were several shots that I really like wrestled with how to hit the shot, and like I think that really gets me going on like somebody building a golf course in a really interesting, proper way. That when I look back, it's like I made a couple doubles where like I hit a good tee shot, I hit a good iron, but I didn't hit the right shot. And it was downwind off the right, and I kind of got it going to the left side of the green that, like, in America would have just landed, checked, and I would have had a 20-footer up the hill. Here, it bounced left, it had the wrong spin, it kicked into some tall grass, and I made double. And, like, that was annoying in the moment. I was frustrated in the moment, but when I look back, I'm like, that's fucking proper golf. That's cool that I had to wrestle with that.
Yeah.
And I like that. Like, I just kind of, I get off on that a little bit of shots being more interesting than feeling like you're just a joystick that's trying to hit an 8-iron 156 yards into the air and like have it stop on a dime. And so not that Tralee didn't have that. It did. I just thought Royal County Down had that on a higher level. And same off the tee where it was like, Frankie on one hole, I'm not going to give it away, but like pulled out driver, fucking piped one. We all were going nuts. And you learn that like, amazingly, it might not have been the right shot because it ends up in a bunker.
Yeah, they have cross bunkers that you can't see, and you just don't need driver. It's
yeah,
amazing.
and that I find that is infuriating as it is, and you probably that was probably the best swing anybody made all day, and it took away your ability to make a lower score in that hole. And I love that, as crazy as that sounds. I find that awesome. And so all of that kind of adding up, I thought the same thing with Tralee was like my number one coming in, and I do think I'd put Royal County Down just a bit ahead of it. Even saying the name gets me like fired up.
Great name.
Royal County Down.
It's a privilege to get to argue about these things.
It is.
We get to argue about whether Tralee or Royal County Down. We're playing Port Rush tomorrow.
That one might be number one for us. I've heard
it's
that.
going to be number one.
I
really
think
do.
so.
I've heard that it's hard to beat.
See that
People that have done this same trip are like, wait until you get to Port Rush. There's just something about it.
That's where I'm already jacked up for reasons that you're talking about Royal County Down, where we watched Shane win there a few years ago, more than a few years ago now. But I've watched his hour documentary over and over. It's so interesting. I love the history of that place. So going in, you always have baggage one way or another, positive, negative, usually positive with a golf course because you've just watched people play it over the years and you've seen history play out there. So Port Rush, I'm super excited for.
I am too.
And how about Waterville getting just shafted because of the weather? That's what happened.
It really is. I mean, you have to just give an honest exception there because it's in a week where we've had pretty much sort of like singularly good weather for this week in Ireland. For Waterville to be the one course that was just hitting us with everything it had from a weather perspective feels unfair.
Totally.
To it. But I do wonder too, like I think I would have enjoyed County Down a lot more if we played it again today.
Yeah.
Because
I feel that too.
There were the blind shots just wreaked havoc on my sort of ability to feel confident over the ball. And you talk about the views. The opposite of having a view is a blind golf shot. Literally blind.
Mm-hmm.
And I am a sucker for seeing the golf hole in front of me, for seeing the ocean near me. In fact, I actually thought Ardglass, from a wow factor, from an eye, what we saw, that blew me away.
Yeah.
So I don't really know where I would put County Down. I don't think I would even put it second, to be honest with you.
Wow.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
And blind shots are very polarizing in golf. They just always have. I've never played a golf course that has that many ever. Like there are. I was going through last night. I was trying to fall asleep, and like I know Lurch always goes through and plays golf courses in his head. That's like a good mechanism for him to fall asleep. I was trying to go through because I've never seen that many blind shots on a single golf course, not even close. So I was trying to think in the entire rotation of when I go to Pinehurst and play the 10 different courses that you could play down there, how many blind shots are there? And I could think of like one or two total, like in all courses combined.
There's so many more out there at Royal County Down.
And there's like 8 at Royal.
Yeah.
I mean, there are a shit ton where you have a blind shot. I think that's probably too many. You know, I think like when there are some really cool, really, really cool, like Fisher's Island has an all-time blind shot, which is the hole that you hit to the
Fourth hole?
gigantic flag.
I think it's
punch
the
bowl
fourth.
green.
Yeah.
That's like really, really iconic, like blind shot reveal, and then even a blind net where you walk up over the crest, you look down, it's a punch bowl. So the punch bowl part of it kind of compensates for the blindness, where it's like you can miss left, you can miss right, it'll funnel to the middle of the green. Awesome. This, you get a couple, which is cool. There might have been like 2 or 3 too many blind shots.
When an architect of a golf course, when an architect of a golf course puts in a blind shot, what do you think they're trying to do to the person playing?
I think they're trying to fuck with your brain.
Yeah.
But you know, and we kind of talked about this a little bit yesterday too, that I think an underappreciated part of blind shots is the added intrigue of the reveal. A lot.
For
but
sure.
Again, you don't need it 8 times. Maybe you get a couple, but I thought the 9th hole was one of the coolest experience of it or example of it that I've ever had, where the tee shot looks just like another blind kind of shot. There's a dune here, there's a dune there. You're supposed to hit it over the white rock. You hit one over the white rock or up there near. I hooked one left. But then you like walk up that hill and you stop and go, oh, fuck. Like, holy shit. You pull out your phone, whatever. But you also didn't know that the fairway kind of like carved down to the right and then back up to the left. And when you see it, like Francis was saying, you look at it like, God, if I could play this hole again, I feel like I would have had a much more confident swing on what I was doing now that I see what the hell's out here. What they're trying to do, I don't know, because, you know, I guess part of it's probably they're just using what they got, right?
Yeah.
Like, I don't think they had an 1890. I don't think they're out there with bulldozers being like, we're going to fuck people's brains up here. I think it's sort of like, we're going to tee off from here. We're going to hit it down there. Looks like a good fairway. And the only way to get there is over this dune, you know? So
Yeah.
That's my best guess. But yeah, there's a lot of people who hate blind shots for sure. I was even thinking about my whole Bandon. Like, we've all been to Bandon. When you go to bench 5 18-hole golf courses, I believe, at Bandon now. And like, I was sitting there thinking of, I think I could think of like one blind tee shot. It's like the 9th tee on Pacific Dunes that has the 2 different greens.
Yeah.
And you like tee off blind, but it's a huge fairway and you can hit it anywhere. There might be a couple that I couldn't
What
think
about
of.
the Ghost Tree one, that tee shot?
Yeah,
is
that's a
kinda
good
blind.
one. The third tee at
Old Mac.
Old McDonald. That's a blind tee shot for sure.
There's something about a blind tee shot or even a blind second shot that helps my game, because it's just trust the line. You're actually supposed to hit your drives in that way. You're supposed to point out something and really try and carry it over it, right? Like, if you talk to any mental coach or any golf coach, you're like, pick a spot out there and let's just like laser this thing over there. Don't worry about where it's finishing. Like, start your line and just everything's like right here in front
Tiger
of you.
does it like 3 feet.
Right, 3 feet. So like for
You go watch
me,
him
when
right
I
before
have
he hits the ball, dude, he literally looks 2 or 3 times 3 feet in front of him. He's picked
make
a
the
blade of
game
grass,
as
he's hitting the
close
ball
to
up.
you as you possibly can. So blind shots really helps that. Maybe it's not 3 feet for me, but instead of me looking at where all the danger is 300 yards away and it starts to get into my head, if I just see a mound 100 yards away from me and a little rock and he's like, just hit it over that rock, I can put a way better swing on that. So it actually helps my game, I feel like. But visually, there's no denying that having elevated tee boxes looking down to beaches like Ardglass had is definitely more appealing to the eye. There's no doubt about it. But there were a lot of reveals that I loved for sure at County Down. And we'll see what Port Rush has for us. I really don't know much about the golf course aside from just watching the Open there.
Same.
But I'm really excited. I've done some Googling, just to see how far our drive is, because Brendan Jones has us going up and down the whole entire United Kingdom on this trip. But we've got about 3 hours. We've got 3 hours to go. And I did a little Googling, and it looks very duney, if we're going to be honest. It
does.
It's like you're playing on the beach, essentially.
Yeah, it absolutely does. And Yeah, I know the first hole, Rory famously hooked one out of bounds and made
Yep.
a quad. He's also shot the course record there when he was like 15 years old.
Yeah.
He shot like 60 or 61,
Yeah.
whatever the hell he shot out there. But, that hole, it's, I believe, a relatively short hole. Rory had like an iron in his hand when he hooked one out of bounds
He
and
did,
made a
yeah.
snowman
Oof.
to kick off his 2019, I think is the year.
That's
that
the
was.
thing
was.
about Ireland that I love, and I guess I just wasn't playing well enough in Scotland to do this, but you just don't need driver at all
No.
in Ireland. And I know we're not playing these things tipped out. We're playing from just the regular tees, whether they be the members tees, 65, 66, 6700, whatever the course kind of gives
I
us.
think we've averaged probably 66 or 6,700
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
far. And
60
we're at sea level. So
Right,
it's not like the ball goes farther.
67
It's
sea level, and I've hit 3 drivers. Now, I'm not hitting my driver well. If I would have hit it like I did at County Down, the one that you're talking about, I'd be ripping it and tearing it all over this place. But the thing about it is it's so firm in certain spots. The north way more firm than like the southwest that we played.
Mhm.
The Trillies and the Doonbeg and the Watervilles of the world, super soft compared to what we've seen in the north with Ardglass and County Down, I'm sure at Port Rush, but completely different terrains in my opinion. And you like I have that new I think it's called the DHY from TaylorMade, that 2-iron that you can just hit off the tee, and as long as it goes 250 or 245 and rolls out, you're in a perfectly good spot. You're still hitting 8-iron to pitching wedge coming in. You don't really have these long irons. And then even if you want a 5-wood or a 3-wood off the tee, and you have to hit a 4-iron into a green, you feel okay because you might be 225 out on a par 4. You only have to fly at 190, 200,
Right.
and you have
Yep.
a chance to get on. So I love this style of golf. You don't need to bomb it. You just need to keep it straight. That's the only thing that matters. And I think people will find that interesting in the videos when they watch them, is that like Francis has gotten around all of Ireland with a 4-iron in his hand off the tee.
Yeah.
I don't think that's a negative, though. You've been saying like almost like that's been a negative to your game. I don't think you need to fly a drive 310 with a draw here. I don't think you need that.
No, I know. I haven't been able to attack a single par 5 in 2. Not once.
Yeah.
I haven't had really and
Yeah.
that usually is a part of my game that helps me. But I have not been able to do that. But that said, I have increasingly felt more and more confident with my 4-iron. I've been swinging harder and harder with it, which has been kind of fun.
Yeah.
You smoked that thing, man. When you
Rips
hit
it.
it good, which you do a lot, you hit this high, towering, pretty straight ball that carries like 240.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
I've never seen someone be able to swing a 4-iron as hard as they can and have it go out straight.
Yeah.
If I swung a 4-iron as hard as I could, it would be a disaster.
Oh my God.
I
all
can't
I
even
got.
swing it as hard as I can. Like,
That's all
it's
I
not-
got.
No.
I'm too scared.
Yeah.
I'm afraid. Like the
Yeah.
hardest club to hit in the bag.
It's the only one I can hit. That one in my pitching wedge. I like the pitching wedge a lot too.
You also like, because of what Frankie's saying, like there's times I've seen you from like 190 you're hitting pitching wedge.
You know, I still have not. We're so far into this trip, and I still have not mastered the land it in front of the green and run it up shot. I can't seem to get my head around that. It also seems like sometimes it's a crapshoot. My caddy
Yeah.
yesterday was telling me to always like play it this short and whatever, and then I would hit like a wedge with some spin on it, and it would just check and die.
Yeah.
And be like, that's so unfair.
Right.
And I'm like, well, I don't know what to tell you. I don't really know. You know, I think all these shots are different, and the wind is a huge factor. Do you remember the hole where if you played it to the right and everything funneled down to the
Mhm.
left, and right after it were the stairs that took us up?
This was at County Down?
Yeah, yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hit mine way out to the right, and he's like, watch this. And it didn't come onto the green. And he's like, I've never seen that before.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like,
It-
well-
it checked up in the back right, right?
Yeah,
And I was in the
exactly.
front right, and Riggs was right by me.
He's like, aim it way right and watch it come down the hill. And he was excited with the ball in the air. And then it stopped. And I'm like, that wasn't right at all.
He said the same thing to me. He
Yeah.
goes, well, it'll appear, and it just didn't. But we're also hitting it way higher than than the shot calls for, and we're hitting, soft TP5s from TaylorMade that are very, very much spinny golf balls that are going to hit the ground and be way more receptive than probably what he's used to see. Like, he would probably see a check down 7-iron that goes over the dune, hits that right side, and has crazy hard spin onto the green. We're hitting these like lofted 9-irons and pitching wedges into
Yeah.
these things,
Yeah.
and they're just landing softer
Yeah,
than
you were making some ball marks, Francis.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I feel bad for the caddies. Every single time we start a round, it's this immediate new learning curve of having to learn your player, learn your caddy, trust your caddy. Yesterday, I would have benefited immensely from a caddy doing the one thing they never want to do, which is to tell me where I cannot miss. Don't hit it here. Don't hit it there.
Yeah.
Instead of go right over that stake. I can't do that.
Yeah.
I don't feel good being like,
Yeah.
I'll keep it within a yard or two of that thing that's 200 feet, yards away. That's crazy. And I would kind of be like, okay, I'll just try to hit a good one. And then I'd pull it left and think, oh, that's probably fine. Dead. Gorch.
Gorsh.
Gorch bush.
Gorsh.
It was, and then like the poor caddy was like, yeah, you can't do that. And I'm like, well, had no idea.
Yeah.
Had no idea.
Second time would be a lot easier.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, it is frustrating for sure. And it is an interesting element of the caddy learning your game each new round.
Yeah.
And one part of a Bandon trip or a Sand Valley or Piners trip that they try to do, which I do think helps, is like you kind of have the caddy at the same time. We're driving all over, like you said, the United Kingdom, maybe Europe in this whole trip. And so like you have obviously you're going to have a different experience, different caddy. They're members of the club every time, which is very interesting.
Cool.
New wrinkle, which I love.
Yeah.
But it is like a learning experience. And like if you're 8 holes in and you're hitting a 6-iron that's the first time he's ever seen you hit a 6-iron in your life. And you're not. And so it does get a little bit tricky where it's like you're kind of fighting just him hitting you with like the generic standard shot. And you're like, well, actually, I know that like I tend to hit this club higher or lower, or more out to the right, or I'm not on a chip shot or something where it's like lay on this ball on the green. You're like, actually, this lie just in my head because I'm pathetic. I hate this shot. Like I should bump it. And then you're kind of in a spot where you're disagreeing, and now you're like, well, I'm gonna go with what you win. Then you hit bam and you play. So it's like that part of it does get weird. And again, we're nitpicking having a caddy at Royal County Down, which is the greatest experience of all time. But it is funny, Francis, because like half the people would never want to hear ever where the trouble is. They want to hear like exactly where I'm supposed to hit it, confident line. And then the other half of the people, I'm with you. I'm like, I need to know where can I absolutely not hit this?
Yeah, and where can I miss?
Yeah, right.
Because I'll err on that side.
Right.
Usually yesterday, one side was gorse and death, and then the other side was like long and shitty grass, but you're not out of the hole.
Yeah, it is funny. There are many of the blind tee shots that we were hitting where like someone would step up, hit one that was like well left of the target that they told us, and they'd be like, that's fine. And then the next guy would get a very similar shot, but it was right, and he'd be like, fucked.
Yeah.
You're like,
hit another one.
well, I mean, I hit the same shot that guy hit. Mine went right, his went left. What do you mean? So like that part of it is a little bit frustrating.
Totally.
We had a Royal County Down transfusion yesterday, and they put an Irish version of their moonshine in it.
Yeah,
Really?
Pangur.
Yeah. What is it called?
Pangur, I think. Pangur.
I think that may have been the brand, right?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It had some other name, but
I forget the name of it.
They said it was banned for a while. And you got to believe that an alcohol that's banned in Ireland,
Right.
something special in that.
That became a memory for me that I drank something that was not allowed in Ireland, and which is, like you're saying,
Yeah.
pretty impressive.
Poitin?
Putin?
Irish moonshine traditionally called Poitin.
How do you spell it?
Puchin.
How do you spell it?
Poitin.
Yeah, that was it. Incredible. Really good transfusion.
Yeah,
Enjoyed it.
I had a good hot dog yesterday.
You did have a good hot dog. I
Looked
noticed
nice.
that.
I did, you motherfucker.
At first, the it was a beverage cart, and I go, can I have a transfusion? And she said, we're out of ice for the moment, so it'd be a bit warm. And I was like, a warm transfusion?
Yeah.
Neat. Francis goes, I'll take a transfusion neat with moonshine in it.
Yeah.
So we waited for the ice cubes, and then Francis said, I think we used the lot of their ice cubes.
Yeah.
They have no more left
Yep.
Yeah.
because they put 7 in each of our drinks
for the year.
for the year. Yeah.
Mhm.
No more ice. No more ice. What if you could add an AI assistant to your work without leaving your work flow? Built into Microsoft Word, Excel, and Outlook, Copilot works where you work, helping you do more in the apps that you already use. We're going to talk about Microsoft Word, and in Word, Copilot helps turn those scattered notes into a first draft. I think we all know about scattered notes on this show.
Yeah, I think that's yeah, we all do it, and the AI assist it cuts through the noise. It takes everything that the meat of what you're trying to do or the notes you're trying to take, and it really filters it all down, puts it in a nice little presentation for you, and you just you get the nuggets out of there. I'll just throw everything in my notes, and it can be gibberish, but there's some good stuff in there as well, and they're gonna find it.
Incredible that this AI assistant can scroll through your notes and figure something out.
Yeah,
Isn't that incredible?
it is.
It is that AI assistant, and again, it is Copilot from Microsoft. The apps, go further with Copilot. Make sure you learn more over at m365copilot.com/work. Once again, get on over there, learn more. It is m365copilot.com/work. This episode is brought to you by Kraken, the official crypto platform of Barstool Sports. Golf is all about consistency. You're looking for that same swing, that same routine. Don't overthink it. Crypto is the same idea. You don't need to time the perfect shot. Just show up and keep swinging. And it's not just crypto. Okay, Kraken has stocks and ETFs too. Over 11,000 equities. So whether you're building a portfolio or just getting started, it's all in one place. Here's what's all in the bag over at Kraken. We're talking 350 plus cryptos to trade, 11,000 plus equities, including stocks and ETFs, recurring buys so you can stack while you're out chasing those birdies, and you get up to $200 when your buddies sign up through your referral link. Terms and conditions apply. We've been loving Kraken, gentlemen.
You got to diversify. You got to be involved. Kraken is the safest, easiest way to do that. It's the platform that we've been using at Barstool for years upon years. So it's a trusted application to get involved in cryptocurrencies, and it's something that you have to do at this point. It's year 2026. Things get volatile. Things are moving all over the place. You got to be able to know that you have stuff in all these different sectors, and you have all money working for you in all different ways, and that is what Kraken is there for. And that's what we use it on.
Build your stack like your handicap, slowly and with fewer disasters. Kraken's giving you $25 in Bitcoin. Here's how you do it. New users go to kraken.com/barstool. Use the code barstool25 when you sign up, deposit, and then trade $100, and boom, you're going to get $25 in BTC, in Bitcoin. Once again, kraken.com/barstool. The code is barstool25. Make sure you deposit and trade $100, and you're going to get $25 in Bitcoin. Done. All right, moving on. I do want to get into a little bit of golf talk. Wyndham Clark won. We kind of mentioned it during the little DraftKings talk on the last show, but Wyndham Clark shot 30 under at the Byron Nelson last week. Wyndham Clark, he's had an interesting run, right? He had 3 big wins. He won the U.S. Open. He won maybe a couple signature events, at least one. I know he won at Quail Hollow. And then since then, he hasn't had, I don't think, any top 10s this year. He hasn't won since 2024. He's had a couple incidents. He had most famously the Oakmont locker room incident, which really got public perception, especially golf Twitter, against him for understandable reasons. Oakmont's cherished, the locker room's cherished. Like that image of the old school, almost like that netting that they have on the lockers in a really old, it's like Shinnecock and Oakmont. They have these locker rooms that the cool part of the locker room is not that they're like renovated and new. It's that they're old and you can like smell the history of all the men that have been in these locker rooms and changed or whatever. So to fuck up and desecrate one of those lockers, obviously not received well, nor should it be. And then he comes back and...
Why are you smirking?
Why are you smirking at me?
I don't know. You're laughing at me.
You got that look on your face. You just had that look where I was
let him talk.
Stop looking at me then. Jesus.
This is what I'm here for.
So, sometimes I can just tell he's thinking something.
I wasn't thinking
and then
about
when
anything.
I bring it up, he denies
That's
it.
so funny because I can always tell when my dad's about to say something.
Oh, he wears it all over his face.
Yeah,
he does.
You do the same thing, by the
He
way.
starts looking around, starts sniffling.
You.
And I go, what are you, from across the room, I go, what are you trying to say? He goes, nothing.
Yours is you just start grinning off into the distance, and I'm like, that guy's got something to say. Sorry, keep going.
Continue,
Rick.
sorry.
Couple of idiots here.
So he wins. There's a couple elements to this entire part of him winning. The first one, which I've kind of mentioned, is the reputational stuff over the last several years. After he won, He said, I have to first thank a lot of people because what happened at Oakmont wasn't the greatest thing. He then thanked each of his sponsors by naming them for sticking with him through a trying time. I'm very thankful for that. He continued, the greatest thing about having a downfall like that is the comeback. Today feels really special after having a tough year and grinding it out. The way I understand it, we've been in Ireland, I wasn't watching it exactly live, but that he offered that up voluntarily.
So he said the Oakmont thing after he just won.
After he won, and he said it, I believe, with nobody else bringing it up. He said after the Oakmont thing, he said, because he said, I have to first thank a lot of people because what happened at Oakmont wasn't the greatest thing. And then he went on to thank the partners that stuck by him throughout and the supporters that stuck by him throughout. Now, I will caveat the entire thing by saying, I know Wyndham Clark decently well. We're not like greatest friends or anything. I know him decently well. The week before the PGA Championship, I kind of talked about how he was on the range hitting balls out of the fairway bunker.
Yeah.
Striping golf balls like over my head while I was on the range. And I didn't say a word to him then because I kind of view it like he's in his studio, he's in his office, and I just don't want to bother him while he's hitting balls. But he volunteered as he left. He kind of shouted from across the range. He was like, see you later, Riggs. Good luck with your session while I was hitting balls and whatnot. So he's always been incredibly cordial and nice to me. And his agent, Rob, is one of my best friends in Scottsdale. He's an awesome guy. So I know while all this stuff is going on with Wyndham had the PGA Championship thing where he smashed a tee.
Oh yeah, he crushed a tee.
Crushed a tee head.
Yeah.
Tee marker.
Yes.
I think it was a tee marker he crushed at the PGA Championship. Maybe that was last year, not this year.
Yeah.
Then combined with the Oakmont thing, he had a lot of stuff going against him. He had this year when he was like the one that called into PGA Tour Radio, I think with Colton Sleaze on the Brooks Koepka coming back thing. And he was sort of like, I guess I'll say it, kind of feel like it's bullshit. And he should have to pay. So he's just had some of these things go against him and clearly turned a lot of public opinion in the golf world against Wyndham Clark. So then for him to kind of turn around, shoot 30 under, beat Scotty, beat Siwoo Kim, who people love Siwoo Kim, and then make these comments about the Oakmont thing. Just a very interesting trajectory for a guy who, if you think back to Full Swing and the full episode that they did on him and losing his mother and how inspirational his commitment to golf stems a lot from that. It's seemingly should be this universally beloved story and guy, but does things to kind of get in his own way. Now here he is winning again on tour, mentioning the Oakmont thing himself, which it sounds like he volunteered. It's just a very interesting, kind of compelling figure out there.
I think he's just a bit of a hothead.
Which is fine.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. We've seen millions of those through the years. But it is interesting to me that he has been carrying the Oakmont thing with him, so much so that it was one of the first things he talked about after he won, which I think what happened at Oakmont is something people certainly connect to Wyndham Clark, but I don't think each week people are like, is the guy who destroyed the Oakmont locker room going to win this week? I don't think it follows him like that.
Right.
I think it's just a part of what he's gone through. And I just think he's a hothead and he kind of loses it every once in a while. And then he seems to be somewhat apologetic in the aftermath. But he's definitely had an interesting run here. And I don't know. I think he'll probably have some blowups here in the future. And that's just kind of who he is. Yeah.
For sure.
It's part of the fabric of who he is.
And the Oakmont stuff
probably what makes him great too.
Yeah, for sure. And the Oakmont stuff is, again, I get why it's very negatively perceived.
Of course.
But you also have a lot of other players that have come out and said, if you saw the lockers that have been destroyed by professional golfers over the decades, you would be stunned. This is not an uncommon occurrence. I think there was a great clip from Full Swing as well from years ago when Ian Poulter was in the locker room, maybe after missing the cut of the players, just destroying lockers. I think it was maybe Tom Kim at one point had to issue an apology and pay for a broken locker. I think it might have been to the players too or somewhere like that. So it's not. People do this. People lose their minds. Rory's thrown clubs into the water before. Rory was slamming his club down. Sergio was slamming his club down at the Masters tournament. So he's not the only guy that gets hot out there. The Oakmont thing added a lot to it, of course. People were like, how dare you do it there? So I get all of that, but I'm sort of with you where it's guy's a hothead, turns people off. I do think he also issued an apology for that. He never faced it. You know, like I don't recall any
I
moment
remember
where
there being some weirdness around the aftermath of the Oakmont
just like
thing.
released an Instagram story, I think, or something.
And then there
along
was
those
talk
lines.
about he didn't pay for it, but then maybe he did.
Yes.
It was never quite clear what happened.
Yes.
Yeah, I think it's a winning cures all type of mentality for him. He's been waiting till he got back on top to address it because he's now thinking, all right, I just won. I'll be in people's good graces, and then I'll address the stuff that, you know, hopefully they'll just forgive me for all that because I'm back on top and I'm you know, addressing my issues, and hopefully we can all move forward from it. I'm assuming that that's kind of his PR play. He's just waited to win again, and good for him for getting back on top. That's a hell of a tournament to win, shooting 30 under. It's unbelievable to be able to produce that many birdies
30 under.
over 4 days.
Shot
It's
60 in the
insane.
final round.
Absolutely insane. But yeah, Wyndham Clark, I think he just comes off to people as, I don't know, like you said, a hothead. Maybe he's unlikable to some people because of that. That's just like the persona he's going to have to wear. Some guys just get it bestowed on them by the public, where you're like, that guy's you like that? That guy is a hothead kind of, you know, hardo is kind of the word that I think a lot of people would put to him.
Yeah.
And, you know, I don't think he does the best job of avoiding that, you know.
No, he
Just
has
kind of
the
is.
moments, and then he just kind of ignores them.
Exactly, yeah. It's just, yeah.
Then when he wins, he's like, sorry about that.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm
My bad
indifferent on Wyndham. I'm not like the biggest fan, and I'm not negative towards him. He's just, he hasn't won me over in ways that like I go out of my way to root for him.
Yeah, and I do know, like, when he has his negative episodes that do occur, like, I've been with Rob, his agent, in those moments, and he's making the rounds, on his phone all day, calling the sponsors. And, like, so I think that's where a lot of the, I'd like to thank my sponsors ever since the Oakmont thing kind of comes from, because, like, he knows they've had to
What
probably.
did he do in that locker? It's like, holy smokes.
Right, now it's so top of mind that it's now in my head becoming the Oakmont incident. And I never thought that it would be that.
Yeah, for sure.
What the hell happened in that locker room? It's also, I think I said it at the time, a place like Oakmont is so old, and there's so many things that have happened there. A guy destroying a locker has got to be pretty low on the level of like, oh my God, a crazy thing happened in here.
Absolutely. You know how many, like, I'm thinking about the story of like Kiz telling where us and Tommy Wyatt and Kiz were all staying in that bunkhouse. We slept there for like 30 minutes because we're out at the casino all night. Like, you know how many groups have done that? And God knows what they did that was worse than that in that place. So for sure, it's like, it's probably a little bit overblown. But Wyndham Clark, he's the latest winner out there on tour. He changed his swing. I saw his swing coach was doing a nice little Instagram thing talking about changing his game a little bit over the last year because he was struggling. And then the other interesting element of the whole thing that people were sort of having a good time with was that Craig Ranch, TBC Craig Ranch, the golf course, did a $25 million renovation over the last 2 years, which wouldn't be that big of a deal, but Invited, which is which formerly was Club Core, which are the owners of TBC Craig Ranch, Lanny Watkins, who did the renovation, said before this tournament, he said, Invited basically said they didn't want 30 under winning the thing anymore, and I told them, don't worry. Wyndham Clark was 30 under par when he won the tournament this year.
Brutal.
Last year, remember Scotty won by like $1 million, and he was 31 under last year?
Yeah.
Wyndham Clark goes out after a $25 million renovation and shoots 30 under par to win. A lot of people are roasting Lanny Watkins for that, and really just the entire concept of it. Now, I think that's the big soundbite clip quote that gets focused on. You know, I saw a bunch. I think it was the Friday guys were kind of combing through a lot of the other positives of the renovation, like the drainage and all the other, you know, important stuff that they did. But very funny to have that quote be like, yeah, they just didn't want 30 under to win anymore, so we changed the golf course. 30 under wins.
5 to 60 on Sunday. When we were watching at the Dunlow Lodge, we thought Siwoo Kim was going to shoot a 57.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
He was on fire. They were lighting
Fire.
that place up, man.
Absolutely on fire. And then I got a couple more little current events things. Tiger Woods back in Switzerland.
Oh, he's back in Switzerland.
Yep.
He came back for the treatment of his girlfriend.
It appeared it lined
Okay.
up with Vanessa Trump announcing that she'd been diagnosed with breast cancer. He was back. And then he also has broken his social media silence and issued, a Memorial Day tweet, which was, very nice of him, obviously with him and his father and kind of their history with the in connection with the armed services. Tiger's always been great with servicemen and women. So He had a nice Memorial Day post on social media, so he's broken his silence. And then the last thing I got is I think Bryson DeChambeau directly responded to Francis Ellis's.
Really?
Well, it's hard not to look. So he's in a presser at a live event, and Bryson being Bryson, he was kind of responding to a lot of questions just about everything part of it was a good amount of the negativity that he's received recently on social media. He said, "I respect everybody's opinion on me. I respect everybody that says I'm the worst thing for golf and I'm the best thing for golf. It's okay." He went on to explain that criticism doesn't distract him from his greater mission to help the game. God, I fucking hate when he says that stuff. And that he cares about golf so much because he's seen what it can do for people's lives. That was a quote. This is the good part. The reality is I'm focused on what I can do for the game, that somebody saying something online or to me personally in my face is not going to distract me from the mission that I have.
Oh, that's not as direct as I had hoped it would be.
You wanted him to say your name.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. But that's.
But that was the most public negative comments made about Bryson in the last week or so. So that has been on the top of his mind.
Fair enough.
You did get in there, and it's not like you were trying to. You're not like needling at him to try and get a reaction out of him. You just spoke your mind because he was a topic.
Yeah, I spoke my truth. I did. And I'll stand on it. I just saw a clip that came up. I don't even know where this was, and maybe it's old. But where a marshal on a course finds his ball and points to it, and he's like, "It's right there." And Bryson's like, "Okay, can you get out of the way now?"
Yeah, that was last year.
That was a year ago.
Yeah, but still, just such a dickbag move. The way he spoke to that guy.
Is, but now this is the piling on thing, right?
Sure.
Where they're like digging up old stuff. So I don't like that, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I think you got to the core of it when you were like, the comments he is making, he wants the reaction of. He wants people to be like, "No, we want you to play." That was it.
It's like when a basketball player is like, "I don't know, maybe this is my last year," like fake retirement. Will they? Won't they?
Right.
We've seen it a million times, and it's I just think I don't know. It's like, make up your mind, dude.
Yeah.
But I think you cut right to the core of. I hadn't seen anybody else say that, and when you said that, I think if he somehow happened upon it or it got sent to him, I think he would probably felt like. That's what I'm doing right now. And it feels bad to be exposed like that.
And then the actual last thing that I got is our guy Don Ray forced out at PGA of America. This was a Friday, 5 p.m. of Memorial Day weekend news dump from the PGA of America. Now, Don Ray is a Arizona guy. I know Don Ray. I've played golf with Don Ray. He's the fucking man. I love Don Ray. He's awesome. He got a little bit of controversial PR when he was karaokeing Eminem on Saturday night of the Ryder Cup.
Yeah.
He had multiple comments that were taken very negatively by the European Ryder Cup team.
This dude's a character.
He's
I don't
awesome.
understand. He got in trouble for doing a Eminem song.
So he's the
getting
president. He's the president of PGA of America, which
Uh-huh.
runs the Ryder Cup. And on Saturday night of the Ryder Cup, and we were down by 1 trillion points to Europe. This is before the comeback.
Yeah.
There was video that surfaced of him in the hotel bar doing Eminem karaoke.
Yeah.
Which, again, is really not a big deal. But
no, it's not.
that combined with during the PGA Championship or during the Ryder Cup, when there was a lot of controversy about the way the fans were treating the European players, his response was, well, you've got 50,000 people here that are really excited, and heck, you could go to a youth soccer game and get some people who say the wrong things. He also said, it happened when we were in Rome in 2023 on the other side, and Rory understands things like that are going to happen. I don't know what was said, but all I know is golf is the engine of good, is what he said. The Europeans responded to that in a very negative way. They're
fucking nothing comment.
with that. My response to all this is that
Golf is the engine of good.
Don Ray, I think, is getting scapegoat screwed. If we're honest, it's a 2-year term. Okay, his term ends in November. His 2-year term is essentially a ceremonial position to begin with. The people that pick the Ryder Cup captain is like a committee of 6 people, and the committee that picked Keegan, for example, was Don Ray was on there. He was the VP of the PGA of America at the time as well. CEO Seth Waugh was a friend of the program, and President John Linder. Plus, Ryder Cup former Ryder Cup players, Zach Johnson, Jordan Spieth, and Justin Thomas. So that was the committee that picked Keegan. He's one of 6 that picks him. And then Bethpage had been done a decade before in terms of the decision to do it. So my point is, like, when you have decided as an organization to do 2-year terms, you're essentially putting someone up there not because they have this incredibly impactful ability for 2 years to really do anything. Everything that they're basically in charge of for those 2 years has already been set, determined. People get to the Ryder Cup more than 2 years in advance from an ops standpoint, all of that. So his reign is supposed to end in November. They decide to do a Friday news dump to get rid of Don Ray. I think it's way more systemic than anything. I think that if they had just won the Ryder Cup and he makes all those comments, it's in no way viewed as something that's going to have them oust him 5 months or whatever it is before he's supposed to be finishing his 2-year term anyways. And I also think the comments, the Europeans responding to it, what the hell did you want Don Ray to say in those moments? Sure,
Yeah.
maybe he could have been a little more sensitive to it, but you think he wants to go out there and be like in the middle of the Ryder Cup, by the way, be like, you know what, our fans are too much. Of course he's taking the side of like, yeah, I think the Europeans do it over in Europe too. Our fans are fine. And like, I don't mind him taking those stances. I think when you add on like Europe defeated us, so they get to they get to write the history at the end of it. They get to kind of take the victory lap. They get to then do press conferences for months afterwards, shitting on the fans, saying how poorly treated they were, which they were treated very poorly, no doubt about that. And they get to shit on Don Ray. I think if USA just wins that Ryder Cup, none of that happens with Don Ray, even if he acted the exact same the entire time.
I think that's right. So there's no other circumstances on why Don Ray got pushed out. It was just all on the basis of what happened at the Ryder Cup.
What do you
From what
think
I
of
understand.
that?
I just can't believe that this guy's name is Don Ray. I mean, that guy should be selling used cars. Don Ray Auto.
Don Ray Auto.
You're kidding me, right? You can see him on a grainy local commercial like,
Oh, yeah.
Don Ray, I got tons of Volvos back here.
Don Ray Automotive.
Yeah.
Well, that's also Francis, that's kind of the point of it. It's like, this guy Don Ray is, don't get me wrong, he's part of the PGA of America. Like, he's been in the hierarchy for a little while. He was the VP and all that. But, like, he runs a golf facility in Arizona, and then he's supposed to, like, run the entire organization for a couple of years. That's sort of the point.
It's
He's
amazing.
basically running a car dealership.
Yeah.
And then they're like, run the PGA of America, and if it goes shitty, we're gonna blame it all on you and kick you out.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why I think it's kind of bullshit and like unfair. Where it's like, I don't know, you put me in here for 2 years. I didn't really have anything to do with any of this, if we're that honest. And then like, you didn't like the way that I did karaoke or that I was trying to defend our fans.
Mm-hmm.
That part just rubs me the wrong way a little bit.
He's a singer, huh?
You should
Rapper.
see this
Not
video.
much.
Don Ray Mi Fa Sol La Ti.
Yeah, baby.
I
Bada
had
bing,
that
bada
one.
boom.
I had that one percolating.
I love
you go.
that. Don Ray me. That's great.
Yeah, here he is.
All right.
Oh, there he
boy.
is.
Yeah, I love this guy. I love this guy. What a
He's
guy.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. It was just tough. We were getting absolutely dismantled that
Steamrolled.
day.
Yeah.
We got like
Yeah.
the guy
And the room
The Garden
wasn't
City
like
hotel.
the room wasn't swaying
No.
necessarily in that
No.
clip.
No. It was like, this is my weekend. Give me the mic. I'm ready to go sing my song.
I've never liked this element of sport where a fan base has an expected sort of behavioral like response to either losing or. Do you remember when the Patriots lost the Super Bowl and Gronk was out partying that night and everyone was mad at him?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, okay, well, who are you to ascribe a behavioral response to losing? Does that necessarily mean that Don Ray is not going to be able to do his job as well the next day?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
If it's affecting, like, if a player goes out and parties the night before a game and it affects their ability to execute the next day, yeah, sure, fine, be mad at them.
Yeah.
But, like, you don't know if doing karaoke is exactly what is going to put Don Ray in the right headspace
Right.
to make the right decisions for the PGA of America. I still don't really understand what he does for a living.
That's all right.
Exactly.
It's okay.
I mean,
It's exactly
Pink
right.
slips.
yeah, okay. Fair enough.
No, I completely agree. I
Mhm.
completely agree. All right. I think on the news front, that's all I had. Next up, we've got Kevin Kisner joining the show just before he is going to tee off this week at the Colonial. So if nobody has anything else, without further ado,
Heading over to Port Rush. We'll see you guys there.
next up, we're driving up to Port Rush. So that'll be one of our final stops here in Northern Ireland. But enjoy hearing from Kiz, and we will be back next week. Coming back to you from America is when we do the next podcast. So that'll be exciting. All right, talk to you then. What if you could add an AI assistant to your work without leaving your workflow? That's what we're trying to do here, ladies and gentlemen. We're trying to do it in Excel, okay? We know that Copilot, that AI assistant, it's built into Microsoft Word, Excel, and Outlook. Copilot works where you work, helping you do more in the apps that you already use. It's a great tool. It's a great help. It's an AI assistant. In Excel, it's going to generate important, noticeable, key insights from the data that you input. I know Microsoft Excel. We know people all over this planet, everybody you talk to, their whole life depends on Microsoft Excel. Guess what? Now, Copilot, that AI assistant, adding it to Microsoft Excel, it's going to generate those insights from the data that you put in.
Yeah, I think if you can master Excel, you can run the world. And this Copilot is going to help you get there. If you can do it right, if you can put the right data points in there, whether it be finances, organization, whatever it might be, if you can put that in there and use it in the right way, and Copilot's going to help you do that, there's no limit to what you can achieve.
Facts. Those are just facts. I do think people that are very good at Excel kind of run the world, and Copilot with Microsoft's going to dramatically increase your ability to be efficient and good with Microsoft Excel. It is the apps you know, and they go further with Microsoft Copilot. We want to make sure that you learn more at m365copilot.com/work. That is m365copilot.com/work. AI assistant. You hear a lot about AI these days all over the place. There's like a million different companies that are trying to become, the next big thing. They all think they're going to do it with AI, billions of dollars, trillions of dollars. Well, guess what? You're going to want an AI assistant. You're going to want to add it to your work without leaving your workflow. You're going to want Microsoft, okay? The Microsoft Copilot, that AI assistant, it is built into Microsoft Word, it is built into Microsoft Excel, and it is built into Microsoft Outlook. And in Outlook, it's going to cut through the noise to get you up to speed faster. Copilot works where you work, helping you do more in the apps that you're already using, especially in Outlook, where once again, it cuts through all, it could get jumbled in there, man. It could get packed. It could get overwhelming to the point where you just want to ignore it. This is going to cut through the noise and get you up to speed much faster.
Yeah, that is true. That's something that we deal with in this society, is that we get so much stuff that you don't look at any of it.
That's right.
And having an AI assistant in there in Outlook, it's just going to give you the stuff that you need. It's going to recognize what's important. It's going to recognize what you need to give attention to. And that's why you're adding this AI assistant. That's only coming from Copilot with Microsoft.
Yeah, it's so true. You just want to ignore everything because you want to see, you're choosing to see nothing because you're seeing so much.
That's right.
They're going to help with that. Copilot is going to help with that dramatically in Outlook. It is the apps you know, and they're going further with Copilot. Let Copilot help you out there, okay? Don't fight against it. Embrace it. Make sure you learn more about it at m365copilot.com/work. Once again, that is m365copilot.com/work. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are rejoined by our coworker, our peer, but not this week. Not this week. Kevin Kisner is in the field at Colonial. He's got his little camo on. He just finished the Pro-Am. How we feeling this week, Kiz?
Man, I'm already tired. It's only Wednesday. This tour life is a grind, back to the practicing, Pro-Ams, traveling. But all good, man. It's my favorite tournament on the PGA Tour. Awesome town. Love Fort Worth. Love the Colonial and all the members and all the tournament committee. I got to play with Mr. Schwab, Chuck Schwab, today. What a gentleman he is, and his son. And so that was a cool morning at Colonial. And it's rained its ass off. It's probably rained 2.5 inches so far this week. So the golf course is a little wet. But if we dodge the rest, it should start to firm up by the weekend.
Calling Charles Schwab Chuck Schwab is a pretty cool thing.
Nice.
That's what he told me to call him. I was like, Mr. Schwab, nice to meet you. And he said, it's Chuck.
Damn. Damn is right.
That's good.
So how do you feel right now, right? It's Wednesday that we're talking to you. How do you feel about your game going into a PGA Tour event?
No, I wouldn't say I've been overly impressed with my prep. I hit nice, beautiful draws that I hit with y'all on the range, and then I seem to push cut them on the course. But hit some nice ones today in the Pro-Am. The last hole, nice draw down the middle, made birdie on 9 at Colonial. So
Okay.
we're going to go to sleep on that one. We got the Champions dinner tonight. So right after the pod, got to go get dressed up in the patent and plaid jacket that you win for the
Ooh.
Colonial. And we all go. We're going to the TCU football stadium and doing it in one of their suites for the Colonial.
Oh, the
dinner
Horned
tonight.
Frogs.
That's cool.
So, yeah, that's a fun night. They'll honor Ben Griffin for winning, and then they always honor a past champion that's kind of, I don't know what they call it, but they always honor a past champion that's older. And this year's Ian Baker Finch, so that'll be fun to see
That'll be
him
fun.
around. And a lot of the guys show up, and this quick dinner, and then we're out of there since I got to wake up about 4:30 in the morning.
Yeah, your tea time's early, huh? What time's your tea time tomorrow?
Shoo, buddy, it's 7 a.m., 7 bells. First group off of number 10 tomorrow. Yeah, I'll be done before lunchtime.
Give me your you said 4:30 wake up. Give me your kind of itinerary leading up to that 7 a.m. tea time.
Couple cups of coffee while I think about maybe eating some food, but it'll be so early I won't really be able to eat. Then I'll go to the gym, do some movement stuff, get stretched out by the trainers on the putting green by 6 a.m., putt for 10, chip for probably 10, hit balls for 25, go back to the putting green on the way to the first tee.
So it's putting,
Just like
chipping,
y'all's prep.
putting, chipping, full swings, back to putting. Always putting first.
Putting first always.
Wow.
Putting first and last every time.
I think I know the answer to this, but any nerves at all? Any butterflies?
Nah, man, I don't really have anything to lose. I mean, obviously I have butterflies or nerves. I never really knew how to qualify what nerves are. You know, I just feel uneasy, but just want to play like the way I know I can. That's the only thing that I ever get pissed off about is if I just don't let myself play the way I know I can.
Right.
Those will be the only nerves. I don't care if I shoot 80-80. It's not going to affect my life in any way if I shoot 60-60. But I just want to go out there and give it my best shot.
If you shot 60-60, your life would be affected a little bit.
In what way?
Be fucking unbelievable. I mean, we'd be talking.
You're going to wake up.
Our lives would be affected.
People would be
for sure.
hooting and hollering if Kiz opened up 60-60.
If he goes 60-60, he might be like, I'm done with the podcast. He's like, I'm going back out there. Like, I don't
Our
need this
lives would
shit
be
anymore.
affected in a very negative way.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're rooting against
I'm not going back out there.
We
I'm going to play in the Masters, though. I will play in the Masters.
This is like the most clarity I've seen from Kiz in our podcast era because he's like about to play in a PGA Tour event. He's got no bottle of wine. He's talking unbelievably just like stoic and clear. You're just like everything around you is so clear. It's like daytime. Usually when we're on the pod with you, it's nighttime. You've got a nice bottle next to you. You're just talking your shit. You're about to play in a PGA Tour event. This is a new Kiz than we're used to.
Yeah, and I don't have any kids that I've been taking care of all day. I've had no stress today. Just strolled around with Chuck Schwab. I got my buddy from home caddying for me. He has no clue what he's doing, so I've been making fun of him all day. And got a little practice in. Just been chilling now at the house, getting ready to go to the Champions dinner.
Who is on the bag this week? Let's get a little bit more intel into this decision process and you get one. Okay, you got one person on your team in the entire world that's inside the ropes, and you have chosen who?
His name is Russ Andrew.
Okay.
Yeah, it is.
And this is a great story. I was playing at Palmetto one day about a month ago, and James Edmondson, that caddied for Tom Hoagie most recently, called me, who's a member at Colonial, and said, Kiz, I don't have a bag for Colonial yet. I'd love to caddy for you. Obviously, I don't know what your plan is. And I had not thought for one moment about who was going to caddy for me in the tournament. Like, not even come on my radar. And I was like, man, James, to be honest, I hadn't thought about it. You know, as we get closer, if I decide, I'll call you, reach out. I'd love to work with James, obviously. And Russ is sitting in the cart beside me. And Russ is like, you don't have a caddy for Colonial yet? And I said, no. And he said, I'm in. I said, dude, there's no way. He's a good golfer. I said, there's no way you can do it. Like, it's way harder than people think. And 2 holes later, he shows me a screenshot of the American Airlines ticket to Dallas Fort Worth he bought for Monday. And I said, all right, man, you're in. Let's go do it.
No way.
No way.
Russ.
Oh, yeah.
Russ.
That's
Taking initiative. Calling his shot.
So I got to tell you stories. First, so Monday we get out here Monday afternoon, and he's like, I got to see the course, man. I got to see the course. I said, dude, I'm not going to ask you anything all week. Just carry the bag, get out of the way. I'm not going to ask you for a yardage. I may ask you for one read. He's a good player. I may ask you for one read in 36 holes. And so he's like, all right. So Monday we get rained out. Tuesday, we tee off the back nine with Brian Harmon at 1 o'clock on Tuesday. And, of course, Brian didn't let anyone else join. You remember that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I hit my patented push cut in the right rough, and I'm already pissed off. And we walk up there. He sets the bag down. And I look at the yardage, and I go to grab my 8-iron. It's covered in mud. So I said, Russ, where's the towel? And he starts looking around at the bag, moving stuff. I said, obviously there's no towel here. He said, it was just right here. I don't know what happened. Well, go back and get it. He said, it's fine, dude. We don't need a towel. I got this. I said, towel is the most instrumental part of a practice round. We have to have a towel. We have to clean clubs. We have to clean balls. And it's soaking wet out here. So first hole of the day, they are running back to the clubhouse looking for towels in the practice round. Third hole, driver, I take the head cover off, set it on the bag, hit driver, we take off. I always just carry my driver after I hit it walking down the fairway. And we get down there, set the bag down. I said, Russ, where's the head cover? No head cover.
No head cover.
As
Fuck,
bad as
man.
it gets.
3 holes in, he's run back to the tee twice.
Freaking Russ.
man,
Hot
Russ.
start.
Lights are just too bright.
Russ, you want to come defend yourself?
I'm rooting
He's
for Russ.
Nah, dog.
I'm rooting for Russ. I hope he does well, you know?
Russ could get a paycheck this week if you
What
play
if
well.
Russ
Because-
calls you off a shot and it makes it to the broadcast and you end up hitting the shot of your life? It's all because of Russ.
Uncle Russ dialed me in.
They do. I've learned that caddying is not as cool as people think it is.
It's terrible. He like even just looking at the yardage book is just mind blowing. Every sprinkler, he goes, "What is this?" Because we'd work off the front, and all the sprinklers are to the middle, and so he's looking in the book, and it's got bigger numbers to the front and the smaller numbers in parentheses to the middle. He just mind blown. Why would they do it that way when it says 108 right here? Why doesn't it just say 108 in the yardage book?
I already know CBS cameras and microphones are going to pick up Russ saying something crazy this week during the tournament. I can already see that coming a million miles away.
We got to make it to the weekend and be playing at 3 o'clock on the weekend for them to pick it up. But
Yeah.
I'm sure they have plenty up their sleeve to try to give me some type of
Oh.
payback for
Make
my
them-
comment.
Kids, make them pull up whatever they got under their sleeve. You know what I'm saying?
I'll say when we were at the PGA Championship, I'll say an unnamed, undisclosed person, maybe that works for CBS, said, "Oh, if Kiz makes it to the weekend, we're gonna have cameras on him. If Kiz makes it to the weekend at Colonial, we're gonna make sure we get our eyes on him."
That's the dumbest thing ever. Hey, sure, keep exposing my brand more so I can make more money.
It's true. I was like, to myself,
a
I was
lot.
like, please, Barstool Golf,
yeah.
podcast, YouTube, Sabonic video.
If I was
crush
in
it.
charge of CBS, I'd be like, I hope Kiz is winning the tournament, and then we'd just tell the viewers that we're sorry we can't show him.
Yeah. All
That would
in.
be my approach.
Where is-
Kiz is in the left rough, but we're not going to be able to show him because we don't like him.
That's so funny.
Oh my
Spot
goodness.
on.
That's
Spot
so
on,
good.
lad. Kids, you spent any time in Ireland over here? You've been to one open here?
I played the Port Rush when Lowry won, and then called last year when Scotty won.
You've been here a couple times. I do think we talked about this a little bit. So we've been here for like a week and a half. Obviously,
We're never going home.
We've been doing our thing without you. This is a hell of a island they got over here, man. There's a lot of Guinness.
We
There's a
just
lot
came
of
from
flat
dinner. We had a
land.
bunch of drinks. I mean, we were supposed to do this podcast 3 hours ago, so you could probably tell the type of Irish night that we had.
Yeah, well, the Guinnesses taste better over there, and they go down a lot easier, and it's easy to have double digits.
It's crazy.
We've
man.
learned, we talked a lot about it beforehand, early in the week, whatever it might be. We've learned that all the theories that we kind of had originally have boiled down to the closer the tap is to the keg, the better the Guinness.
That's
Yeah.
right.
And Ard Glass is the best Guinness we've had to this point.
It was in a plastic cup. It was in the halfway house, a little shack. I ended up roasting the shack with a smothered driver that went 300 miles an hour by Brendan Jones's head. Almost went into the shack. Never been hit before. They said it's never been a ball's never gone in. I was almost the first person in a 200-year-old freaking golf club to hit this freaking shack, and that shack had the best Guinness that we've had yet because the line was only 1.5 feet long. I mean, it was. The guy said, if you see the top of the keg and where our tap is, it's right above it. So I guess that, and then also we've learned that we were right in terms of the, I guess what's the word I'm looking for?
I want to help you.
Well, like the delivery of the kegs, distribution. The distribution of a keg going all the way across the Atlantic to America or Canada, wherever, it does get spoiled. Like Guinness does not hold its taste for the longer that it's on a ship or in a container. It just doesn't. There's something about that type of beer that just doesn't make its way over to us the same foaminess and the same creaminess as just a short bus ride or whatever it might be for when you have one in Ireland.
Yeah.
So, and it's been a pretty distinct difference.
What do the locals think about canned Guinness?
I looked today at the bar just now, maybe 2 hours ago. We were waiting at the bar, waiting for a table. Looked down. They had a bunch of canned beers. Looking for a canned Guinness. Couldn't find one. I would assume that there's no chance you would find one.
Yeah, well, there's plenty in the U.S., so I was
Yeah.
wondering if they just think we're Yankees over there that just can it for
That's
some
all I have
reason.
in my house.
They might not even know that exists over here. They might not have a clue that they're even doing
Yeah.
that.
What is it that's in a canned Guinness?
They
It's
throw
like
like a
a
little
Guinness.
ball in there.
There's a bowl in there.
Yeah,
There's
to,
something
like,
in there.
to keep it fresh, quote unquote. But yeah, I mean, to them, that's like brewed in Ohio. They're just like, I don't even know what that is.
Yeah. So they were saying, kids, that if you go into a pub earlier in the day and there's no one else drinking a Guinness yet, don't order a Guinness.
Yeah.
Because that means the first 2, 3, 4 Guinness that come out of that are going to have been in the line of Guinness all night. And you want the fresh one. So you got to wait till sort of the waterfall starts.
Yeah.
Then once it starts,
Wow.
you can activate your Guinness orders.
The place we just had beers at and dinner was called the Harbor Pub, and it's right here in Port
Harbor
Rush.
Bar. That's Darren Clark's joint.
That's right. Darren Clark has a corner. It's called Darren's Corner in the corner. And obviously Shane Lowry, pictures everywhere. But the ceiling of the bar has all the past winners of all different majors, right? So you got Justin Thomas up there from the PGA Championships. You've got Phil Mickelson, signed flags, just covering the ceiling. Phil Mickelson, Brooks Koepka, Justin Thomas, Matt Fitzpatrick.
Yeah, there was
at
like
the
a
Country
Phil
Club,
signed Kiowa Island flag.
right in the middle
Just
of the bar.
white Kiowa
And we're
Island
like,
flag,
what-
Phil Mickelson
And we're
signed.
like, what's
No,
going on?
no note, no nothing.
You look on the if you look on the map, anyone that's listening to the show right now, pull up a map and type in the Harbor Bar in Port Rush. We're as far north as you can possibly go. We're basically in like Iceland, and you've got all these just flags up here. It's because Brooks Koepka's caddy is from Port Rush, and every time he comes back home, he has 4 or 5 flags signed from the most recent winners on.
He
PGA
grabs
Tour.
a bunch of awesome memorabilia just
And they
for the
staple
Harbor
him
Bar.
up. They staple him up, and it's a
Interesting.
whole night. And like when he comes back, it's a whole thing. So I thought that was really cool. They love golf there. Everyone that saw us at that bar was a really big fan of Kevin Kisner, Barstool Sports, Foreplay Pod. It was like it's a real. I don't
It
want
was
to call it
pretty
like
crazy,
tourist
honestly.
trap,
It was
but
pretty
like
cool.
every person playing Port Rush or any of these courses around here goes to the Harbor Bar. It was a really good scene. So yeah, it was cool to see like how big golf has gotten to the point where like everyone that is on the. It seems like we're on the same trip as people
Yep.
that are following us, right? There's like
Right.
the same group of guys.
Dennis, shout out to Dennis. It's his birthday today.
Yeah.
He's the guy that we saw at the sleeve, Donald.
Dennis, yeah, we've seen him. Keeps
Donald,
saying he's waiting
sorry.
for his buddies, but he keeps showing up alone. So I don't know. Like he's just like I keep thinking he's like in our trunk at this point. He's gone to 4 of the courses that we've gone to, and keeps acting like, "Are you guys the guys from the pocket?" It's like, dude, Dennis, get over here and have a beer at this point. Come on, man.
I was telling Trent before you got there that one of my boys from old days RBC guy, Jeff Beatty, texted me and said, just had a few pints with your bosses at Harbor Bar.
Well, those are the Nantucket guys?
Yeah, he's
No,
with the
he's
Nantucket
from,
guy.
he's from Canada.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he goes to Nantucket too. So, yeah, probably so.
There's a
Bro, he
group of-
said, okay, this guy told me. This is the Canadian guy, right? So he said,
yeah,
kid
he's awesome.
stays at his house for the RBC Canadian Open a bunch of years, right, Kiz?
Yeah, me and Sneds.
So he said, he goes,
This is the
I
guy with
got-
the long hair. Longer
this
hair.
was,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Long gray hair.
Toronto Maple Leafs fan.
Yep. So he goes, I got to tell you, he goes, my wife thinks Kiz is like the nicest guy in the world. I said, why? I go, every night he would do the dishes.
Oh.
He would clean up after everyone.
Kevin.
And I go, so what'd you charge Kiz to stay there? He goes, nothing. I go, well, no shit. No wonder he's fucking doing the dishes for
I'm
them.
on this beautiful farm in Canada with turkeys around. And he's like, yeah, you can go kill whatever you want, kids. And I was like, I will stay here and do dishes for the rest of my life.
Well, I got to give you credit because they were hooting and hollering, as Frankie likes to
yeah.
say, about the Kevin Kisner experience, saying you were just the classiest gentleman cleaning up after yourself.
Unreal.
How do you end up in that situation, almost like a billet family? How do you end up getting synced up with somebody like that?
I think it was through Sneds. Sneds was sponsored by RBC for a lot of years, and he was the chair of the board. Jeff was, I'm pretty sure, for when he did the Sneds contract. And so Sneds introduced me years ago at the Pro-Am, said, this is my buddy Kiz. Jeff and I hit it off. We like to do the same things. He has a big fat duck club in Canada that he's invited me to a couple times, and then invite him down to mine. And yeah, man, just like-minded people end up hanging out together. And he's the ultimate host, man. He would have dinners catered in every night, and we'd just sit around and eat. And then Sneds and I'd wander off to bed when it was time for us to go play a tour event. But he was like having multiple people every night. And every day when we get home, he'd have the hot tub pumping, sitting in the hot tub, having a couple beers after the round. It was an awesome place to hang out for the week.
Dude, great guy. And the crew that they're with, this guy Tommy, this other guy Robbie, we've seen them, like Frankie was kind of alluding to earlier. They're like, we're all sort of doing the same tour, we've learned. But these guys are like, the one guy knows Dave well, and they're just like a really fun crew that are getting after it. And so it's funny that like the tentacles of golf that touch each other is very interesting, and you're realizing that like the world is smaller in the golf world, especially than you think it is.
Yeah, it was random because I didn't know he was over there, obviously, and he was FaceTiming me while I was trying to get out of Colonial. I was trying to get back over here and shower because I thought we were doing this podcast 2 hours ago. And I was like, dude, I'm finishing up Colonial. I'll call you back in a few. He's like, oh, I was just going to show you your bosses over here at the Harbor Bar. They're having some pints. I go, well, I guess we're not doing the podcast in 30 minutes.
We hadn't even sat down for dinner yet.
To be fair, we thought we were getting out of there an hour ago.
Yeah,
The food came very, very slow. Kids, tomorrow at the Colonial, just for all these listeners to really know where your head is at, do you have a plan? Hole 1, hole 2, hole 3. Like, have you worked through how you're going to play this golf course so that we, as we're listening to this, can kind of piece together if it went the way that you plan? Like, what's your play? Do you have your playbook kind of laid out?
Yeah, it's called a 7-wood high draw off a 10. And then when that doesn't work out, you find out what you do when you get hit in the mouth.
Okay, so 7-wood off 10, a little bit of a draw, and it's a par 4.
Yeah, it's a shorter par 4. They've made Colonial way longer, man. Since they redid it. I played the front today, and just obviously in pro-ams and practice rounds, we play 1 foot off the back edge of every box just to save the tee markers. But I was just amazed with all the rain how much longer the golf course is than I remember. It's amazing what no roll does to your golf ball. You're over there playing in Ireland where the ball rolls 40 yards, and it makes golf courses so much shorter.
God, it's
Hitting 5
so
woods out here.
fun.
I'm tired of hitting 5 irons at Colonial. I'm used to hitting 9 irons at Colonial.
I'm hitting 5 woods out here, walking around with my chest out. Like 5 woods, I'm sorry. 5 woods, like looking around, being like, I could hit this for the rest of my life. I don't need a 3 or a driver.
Well,
no way.
At Royal Canada, you pull driver once.
Yeah. And I ended up in a cross bunker right in the middle of the fairway. Unbelievable. 5 wood would have been perfect.
Since I haven't gotten any more swing videos or questions, I thought you were striping it.
Dude, I have been striping my 5 wood to the point where like I step up, I have this really good tempo, I hit up on the ball, it's a towering draw. I don't know what it is about that 5 wood. I don't know if it's the length. Like I was asking Riggs, like, should I build my driver off of that 5 wood? It's such a comfortable club for me. I just hit it on the center of the club face. I hit up on it, and then when I get the driver, I do different things. And I know it should be a similar swing, though, right? Like a 5-wood to a driver isn't that much of a different approach.
No, it should be very similar.
So I need to just get onto a range where I'm not playing the number 1 course in the world, and I'm like worried about what's about to happen in 10 minutes. I need to get to a range and just have 5-wood approach with the driver and swing the same confidence as I do, but that I do have with the 5. But yeah, no, it's been like a weird, odd confidence with that 5 and 3-wood.
He's asking me, Kiz, and keep in mind, I got 6 different head covers in my bag because I can't find something to hit the ball in the air off the tee. I'm like, yeah, I think you should mimic your 5 for sure.
Yeah.
No, you're hitting that thing awesome.
Yeah.
I've been pumping it. Like I look at all the caddies, and I'm like, I don't know how much further I can get any other club. Crazy. It's
The best
going
part,
like
too, is the only
280.
way you ever miss is you barely overdraw it.
Yeah.
Barely.
Yeah.
But, like, you flush it. You never miss it, really.
Dude, I've been pumping that thing.
Yeah.
Just feels so solid. I love that QI4D.
It's nice. He doesn't even listen to us
No,
now.
he's
like
ready to
left the
go,
show.
man. What time is it over there? Got like dinner tonight.
Yeah, he's got the Champions dinner
It's
tonight.
I'm dialed in, man. I was letting y'all go on your little Ireland talk about 5.
We would love to have you
I
on one
know,
of
I
these trips
w-
where you're like on PGA Tour, so it's like
Yeah, this trip would be even better if you were here, for sure.
I don't know if he'll listen to this, but like I butt dialed Brendan Clancy today, as crazy as that could ever be imagined.
Shut the fuck up.
Really?
Yeah,
What?
because I was calling Brendan Jones, so I butt dialed KFC's brother today.
Interesting.
So I don't know where that went.
Did you pick it up?
No, it rang 6 or 7 times. Preposterous.
Wow, that's pretty crazy.
It
I
is
thought
crazy.
they like made the phone so you couldn't butt dial.
Dude,
But-
it's not true because like I'm a big drag down and get to what I need to get to. You're that as well?
Yeah.
So like for that I'll type in like Brendan, right? And like that's
Oh.
the first one that freaking popped up.
Alphabetically, that makes sense.
How insane is that?
Yeah.
So I must have hit it by
You're just like,
accident.
bang, here we go.
Yep. Isn't that crazy?
That is crazy.
So
Did
that's
he
what I-
answer?
No. I hate butt dialing people, man.
I don't think I
I
don't
don't
know.
think I'd do it. I just keep my phone locked, and then it just doesn't happen.
100%. I'm in the same boat.
Kids, question for you. We're playing Royal Port Rush tomorrow. It's our last round of the trip. Do you have, and I will say this is one of my, this is one of the questions we get the most that I don't have an answer to. You're like, hey man, I'm playing Pinehurst number 4. You know, any advice? And I'm always like, yeah, if you hit it like straight and far and like chip
Make
it
a lot of
close
putts.
and then putt well,
It's going to be fun out
you're
there.
going to play sick. And I
It's
say
going to be
that.
awesome.
They could ask me, is, you know, like, hey, you know, I'm playing Pebble for the first time. I know you guys do a trip. I'm like, guess what? If you hit it straight and then, like, you make putts, I bet you'll play awesome. Having said that, Kiz, we've never been
Kids,
to,
what's your advice?
we've
Yeah, right. Exactly.
we've never been to
Exactly.
Port Rush before. What do you think? What do we need to know tomorrow?
Well, you're probably not playing the British Open route because they intertwine the 2 courses to make the British Open route, I believe.
Yeah. I think there's a
I
couple
think you
holes.
go through like 6, 7, somewhere in there, and then they
Nice.
play 3 or 4 holes of the other course and then come back and route it. I just know that you'll never finish I think it's 4.
Okay.
4. Riggs won't finish that hole because there's out of bounds all down the right, and the wind usually blows off the left. So he'll be dead on number 4 at Port Rush. We'll just have to bury him there.
Okay. All right. What's 5 do? Can I get back into
5's
it on
the
5?
downhill short hole towards the ocean, where they can almost drive
Love
it.
that hole. Those guys send it up near the green. I remember that one. That's like the
Yeah.
most beautiful hole out there.
Nobody knows what to do on that hole still. You can't really get to the green. It all depends on the wind over there, obviously, but I think I laid up every time and then missed the fairway, and then you're just behind the 8 ball. But the out of bounds is like the ocean over the green, and there's
That's
nothing
right.
to stop it. So if you hit it in the fescue or rough and you just catch a knuckler, it just goes over the green out of bounds.
God, I remember that hole watching now. Do you guys remember this hole? Dude, it's like 320 or 30 or something, kids. Is it
Yeah, I mean,
340?
it's just outside of drivable range, depending on the wind.
Yeah, and if you go a yard over the green, there's no rough, there's no
Just
anything.
ocean.
It's just OB
Wow.
stakes and ocean. And like guys will hit, like Kiz was saying. He's like, if he lays up, what would you lay up with? Like a 5-iron or
Like
something?
a hybrid, or it depends on the wind. I'm pretty sure it usually blows in off the ocean, so it's into the wind. So you hit a hybrid because it's straight downhill. You hit a hybrid over the left, and then you have a really awkward wedge shot to a green that's funky.
So if you miss the green, you have no control of your spin. And if it goes a foot too far, you're just gone. out of bounds.
I'll be laying up.
God, I remember
putting
that
onto the
hole.
green.
Fuck.
The best pin is the one that's 4 yards from the back edge of the green.
Yeah, it's been a hell of a trip. It really has been. I definitely am gonna miss this type of golf. It's been fun. It's been target golf more than I thought. I thought it'd be like hit it wherever you want, you'll find it, and you'll just be able to hit from any fairway. It couldn't be more opposite than that. I'm missing my trees. I miss being able to just find your ball wherever you hit it. Like I thought Northeast golf was treacherous in terms of missing fairways. This is like you miss a fairway by a foot. And the caddies are like, "You're fucked." It's just like, holy shit!
Oh, the gorsh,
like, the gorsh,
so
as
many,
I like to say.
gorsh. So many of our golf balls.
It's just
like
disgusting what happens out here if you miss the fairway. So, yeah, I love it. Absolutely love what it's doing to our games. It's testing us. But I am definitely ready for a reset in terms.
Dude, the
of
best
off
is
the
when you're
tee.
standing on a tee, Kiz, and the wind is hard into and off the left, and they're like,
What's your favorite?
If you miss left, you're dead. If you miss right, you're dead. And you're just like standing over the ball going, everyone here knows I'm going to hit this into the gorsh
Yeah.
or whatever the fuck's over on the right. And I know I'm going to hit it over there. I'm going to make a swing that I think is going to keep it from going over there. And the second you pull the club back, just being like, yep.
No,
that's
because there's a
gone,
new.
man.
I mean, Riggs has a new miss. It's like it's instead of the dead right, it's like a. I'm trying to not do that, so it's like a complete top, but it goes straight. So like there have been times where it's like worked out for you, where like we all know it's going high and right, but then he hits you with this like topper draw, which couldn't be more opposite than what you thought.
Yeah.
And it's either 8 out of 10 times it's in the gorse that's right in front of the tee box or a pond that we've noticed. I don't want to give away too much, but like, dude, there's a place, Dunebag,
oh my god,
that he topped one. And we go, oh, it might find its way to the fairway thinking. And he goes, what's over there? Just high rough? And the caddy goes, water. And we go, no way. I mean, there was no way there was water. It was high rough. And there's just a little pond, similar to Palmetto with me. Dude, we were like, there's no way that ball is wet. And it was fucking wet. He ended up making a bogey, which was incredible.
Dude, it was
but like,
all world bogey.
dude, it was like, dude, the reaction where he's like, where do you think that went? Like high rough. And the guy goes, water. Fucked. Like, no, it was right here. It was right on the other side of this computer.
We hadn't seen water on the whole trip.
No.
Not on any part of any
No,
links
there's
course.
no burn.
He goes, yeah, there's
nothing.
There was a pond there
Yeah.
over this dune. We couldn't see
Water.
it.
Fucked.
Oh man.
Fuck.
No, it is. It
has been your miss. It's like that, like trying to shave it off. But
buddy.
dude, sometimes like at Royal County Down a couple times where you just hit this like worm burner and it just makes its way 220 yards down the middle. We're fine. It's
I
definitely
hit it
fun.
on the first hole at Royal County Down.
Yeah,
Made
that was
par.
a better swing than like a. That was
Yeah,
a good
that's
swing.
true.
That was
That's
a good
true.
swing.
That was a better one. No, it's been a journey, Chris, as you can imagine, man.
Dude, you would torch these places, man. It would be so fun to watch you. You're so consistent, and like having that consistency in terms of like the yardages to the front of the greens. We do not have that. We do not have
Nope.
that. We
No,
like a nutted 7-iron for me can go 175. It can go 150. Like they're like so when you're talking to me about yardages to the front, I've been hitting one where I'm like, oh, it's perfect. Nope, it hit pin high. It's fucking 20
Gone.
yards too far. That has been really tough for me. Thinking that
Same.
perfect irons are perfect and they're not has been a struggle.
Not only not
It's
perfect, they bounce and you go, oh my God.
Royal
Like,
County Down, I had one hit the middle of the green and it bounced over the flagstick.
Oh yeah. Firm conditions really showcase who can control their ball
Yes.
the most.
You know who can't control their ball?
Yeah, we all can.
Everybody in this room.
I don't know if it's like the forgiveness irons.
Okay.
I love my P790s. I really do. But I do think one of the negatives to the side of using more forgiveness is when you try and dial it in to like a 5-yard difference. For me, when I really get it on the sweet spot, it could go anywhere in terms of distance. I can smoke this thing over the green. And that's like the trade-off I have in terms of like I hit a lot of shots off the toe. So the P790s really help me keep things in play for 90% of my game. But when I'm striping it, I can hit a 175 shot, 185. And that usually is okay. It's to the back of the green in New York. But here, if you hit 180 on a 175 shot, you're dead.
Dead.
You can't do that out here. You got to hit
No.
like dead clubs out here.
Like, I pride myself on every round of golf I pretty much play in America. I'm never long.
No.
Ever.
Trent's never been long in a breaking 85 in his life.
Not once.
It's the number one complaint that we don't hit it far enough. How many
Number
times
one
have we been over the
complaint.
green
And,
this
like,
week?
Oh yeah.
Trust me, you can play golf from short of the pin 97.5% of the time, easily, you're chipping up into the green. It's
Yeah.
not a fucking problem. Unless you're at like Bay Hill on a couple holes and that short is in a pond. Otherwise, you miss 4, 5, 10, 15 yards short. It's generally one of the easiest spots you could be on the course. Long, horrific on every course ever. We're out here, and I've hit a couple irons like you're talking about, Frankie. You hit this high, towering 8-iron downwind that you are like, I think we nailed that. And you watch it bounce, and it's picking up speed as it catches the back of the green. And you're just like, that's going to be fucking horrible. And
Horrible.
that's happened like 10 or 15 times this trip where you're just like, you're thinking as you walk up, what could have possibly stopped that?
Yeah. Hitting your second shot flush and knowing it's a 6 is a demoralizing feeling.
Horrible.
But yeah, it is what it is. It's very fun. Privilege. Absolute privilege to be out here.
It is a privilege, man.
Can't wait to play Port Rush tomorrow, and then we're done. Then we're absolutely done. We're heading back home. Hopefully my family remembers me. I think Frankie's got like an MBA in science or whatever it might be.
We're all
Like,
proud of him.
He's already in
Yeah, we
college.
were at his graduation.
He has
all really
no
proud
idea
of
who
him.
I am. We've been on the road for 2 weeks, drinking Guinness, just walking around towns. He's just been sitting there waiting for me at the door every single night. It's like, when's this guy coming home from work? Like, nope.
I do have a bone to pick with Francis over there.
Yeah, Francis, he like went to bed. He like, well,
Yeah, I know. He just takes my spot. We spend all this money on him over there in Ireland, and he can't even podcast with me for the first
It's
time.
crazy. I
So-
said, join the show. Kids would love to talk to you.
I knew you were going to want to ask Francis some questions. I fucking knew it.
How's he golfing over there?
He's good. You'd be interested in his game. He can pound
God, he
the
is.
rock,
Yeah,
man.
you can.
He can hit a 4-iron. When he flushes a 4-iron, it's like better than yours. It's like the craziest thing I've ever seen. It's like a fucking 250-yard high draw 4-iron off the tee.
No, he
It's-
carries it probably
it's
240, 250.
professional. And then he just gets in his own head. He'll pull it, and then it's like, why did I do that? And then the next one's like, well, I just did that. I can't take that club. It's very much the mental game with him.
We
So
gotta get the two of them in a video together. It'd be
you would work Francis to like breaking par, no problem.
I
He's
agree.
got it in him. He's by far got the best ability out of the three of us.
His ceiling is the highest of any of ours.
You'd
by
love
far.
it. You'd love around with him.
Let's get it on.
He could pound the ball, dude. Pound it.
But yeah, he probably went to bed.
I'll send you a picture. I actually posted. You may have saw it. His like he's over the ball with crazy torque. Yeah, he's got
He's
really
got
good action.
crazy separation and width.
Yeah, he's got
Dude,
really
his
good
club's
action.
like way up here, and his arms are way up here, and he fucking roasts the ball, dude. I'm not kidding. Like he was hitting pitching wedge from 180
Yeah,
yeah.
it's crazy.
and like flying it.
But
there.
like it's more. I mean, you say it to kids like he doesn't really control it, right? So it's like he hits the fucking shit out of the ball,
Yeah.
but it's like those guys sometimes.
It's
when you're
actually
those
a
power
detriment to
hitters-
him.
It is.
Because he's like, I don't know what club to hit in any particular situation because his 7-iron goes 200 yards.
It frustrates him.
It does. It does.
Have you got any good caddy jokes? That's my favorite thing over there.
oh,
Caddies
dude, they've been
are great.
relentless.
There, yeah.
The guy at Dunebag, Patty.
Patty was incredible. He was throwing a bunch of them out there. I mean,
So much so that we threw a mic on him. After
Yeah.
the second hole, we're like, get a mic on this
a couple
guy.
of them you can't say.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. But yeah, the caddies have been great.
Yeah, I mean, he
Yeah, I
was all
remember the
day.
first
He's
joke
like,
he
oh,
told.
I hit one. Like I pierced one down the middle. Paul pierced it, and he's like, oh fuck, it's in the fucking cross bunker. He goes, they call that the sister-in-law. Because you're in it and you shouldn't be. And I'm just like, holy shit, Patty. Holy shit. And he just gives you this wink. I'm like, what?
That was a good one.
Yeah.
That was. I
Yeah.
forgot about that one.
And then like he hands you a 60 degree on the tee, and you're like, surely I can get a 7-iron out of that. He's like, lad, you're fucked. And I was.
Enjoy your chip out.
Yeah. No, it's a great place to play, man. It's frustrating. It really tests you.
Really frustrating and really fun.
But I felt like, yeah, we've had great matches. We're gonna have a lot of great videos. I mean,
The matches have been all time.
yeah,
Yeah.
they have been.
how about shout out to Kevin Kisner, Shinnecock crushed. You're making waves on YouTube. Sabonic crushing right now. Make sure you go check that video out. And then we've got a great video coming out with Kevin Kisner. Can we tease that? Is that coming out next week? Kevin Kisner played with John Daly and 2 Nashville writer musicians. That video, it's a 9-hole match. I'm not going to give away anything more in terms of the match. That video is going out next week on our channel. Kevin Kisner versus John Daly.
We weren't even there.
No, it was just Kevin Kisner started the video.
Which
He goes,
people?
welcome back to
I
the
don't
channel.
know how well I did, but I tried to fill y'all's
Heard
shoes.
you did a good
Brendan
job.
said you did. The word was phenomenal.
Oh, that's a good adjective for it.
Yeah, he goes, Kiz started the video. Welcome back to Foreplay. Like that, like he
Pro.
did it. He was our guy.
Pro.
I don't know that we're even capable of saying
I
that.
really think that was. I know that he's been in videos, but that was the first like moment I was like, oh, Kiz is actually like Kiz is just one of us. Like he's actually a Foreplay member where he can go out and do a video and nail it. And he's like a media member. He's a YouTuber. He's a guy that gets it now. That was really cool to see. To be able to see,
Well,
like,
we'll see after it comes out. Y'all might be hating on me.
dude,
after
they've
it.
watched the video. They said it's incredible. Brendan said he's seen the footage. It's like all time stuff. It's gonna be one of the best videos.
Oh
we have.
man, if we could actually put out everything that was said, like it would have to be beyond X-rated. But man, were there some jewels in there?
That might launch our
there's some
Patreon.
I mean, he told me John Daly's walking through the golf course with no shoes on, with a drink in hand. Kiz is giving him shit. These other guys are great golfers that are talking shit. It's the ultimate YouTube video.
Yeah.
So that's coming.
I'll screw up in a little bit, but Daly pulls up in his golf cart in his golf shoes, and we're on the first tee, and he takes his golf shoes off to start the video to play golf. I've never seen anybody else do that. Most people put their shoes on the first tee. He took his off.
And this was at Old Hickory. This is like his home, right? Doesn't he sometimes sleep in this parking lot in his like van?
Yeah, he had his RV there.
Yeah.
We had the Barstool Classic there a couple years ago, right?
Nate Bargatze's home track.
That's right.
Yeah.
I like Old Hickory.
Is that the spot that the guy does the pro shop stuff? Or is that a different spot? The pro shop TikToks? You know what I'm
no,
talking
that's
about?
it.
No, that's
That was the other Nashville spot?
Hermitage in Nashville. Yeah.
The guy
Excited
that
to see
answers
it.
the phone and makes fun of the members.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he trips me out.
He's funny. I like that guy.
We got to get Kevin Kisner to like take a deep breath before his.
And I also met Robbie Berger.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Because you guys were in
I
the
had
same
no
commercial.
idea he was going to be there. I didn't know that was his real name, to be honest with you. I just thought his name was Bob. And I show up, and he's John Daly's caddy in the commercial that we had to shoot.
He's a funny guy, man. Like just naturally.
Oh man,
funny.
he's hilarious.
yeah.
He's funny fucking guy.
When you're around him for 5 seconds, you realize why he's successful. He was built for whether it be Hollywood or now he's like built his own little Hollywood in Jupiter. But he's just got that charisma. He could make talking about a menu entertaining. You know, he's perfect for this.
Yeah, it was fun. I didn't get to spend a whole lot of time with him because I came in after they were done with their piece, but we had a good 15 minutes, and I was like, "Holy shit, you're Robbie Berger?"
Yeah,
I'd
it's me,
seen that in the
kids,
script,
yeah.
but I didn't know that was him.
Yeah, he's a great
funny
guy.
fucker, man. All right, kids. Well, PGA Tour event this week.
So
we hope
awesome.
you win. That'd be awesome. You know,
He's sick.
Oh,
go
It'd be
earn it.
incredible. If you wanted to be incredible,
I hadn't done that in a while.
be sweet.
just go like compound a bunch of good swings together. You know what I mean?
That's right.
Like, don't even try and accomplish anything. Just play your game, and at the end of the day, let's see where we're at.
We'll add them up, and then we'll have one hell of a podcast on Monday.
Oh,
Numbies, dude. Numbers.
There's no reason why you can't achieve what you're trying to achieve this week. There's no age limit. There's no skill. Like, you've already achieved what got you to be able to tee it up in this tournament. So, like, use that confidence to now act on that. That, to me, is the coolest thing. You're going to look back on your life and realize you used to play in the PGA Tour. You're playing in the PGA Tour tomorrow. It's still here.
7 bells.
You're looking
First
back
off.
on, like, your career. You're doing it in 12 hours.
That's right.
That's fucking
little
sick,
more than
man.
a little more than that.
Whatever it might be.
Get Russ fired up too.
You know what I mean? Like,
Don't
it's
tee
like-
off at
Russ is
2
in there
a.m.,
on the
kids.
couch. He's telling me his whole body hurts already from 9 holes in the practice round.
fucking Russ, man. Be better over there. We're trying to will our guy to victory here.
Russ is over there covered in ice packs. Like,
It's
fuck.
gonna take more than that, Russ. And listen,
I
we're putting a
can't
lot
wait
of
to tell. I'm going to write down the stories of our trials and tribulations
I love
as a
it.
team out there in my yardage book so I don't forget it any for our next podcast.
And it may sound like I'm putting expectations on you. I'm not. I just want you to do well. And if you don't do well, you're right
Doesn't
back.
matter.
We
Does
still
not-
love you,
It
kids.
literally does not matter.
That's right.
This is a go have fun and let's see what the fuck happens type of day.
That's exactly why we're here, because I love all these people out here and all the members are cool as shit. And they asked me to come play, and I was like, yeah, I'll come play.
Fuck
You
yeah.
got nothing to prove. You just got everything to earn. You got everything that's coming to you, no matter what you got, no matter how you play. Does not matter.
It's amazing. I'll tell you one perception is the tour has changed so much. These guys, I went out there Monday afternoon, and there's 50 guys just grinding on the range with coaches and TrackMan and everything else. And I'm just like, holy cow, man. Monday was a travel day for all my career. These dudes are getting it. It's all business, man. Nobody's telling jokes. Nobody's busting balls. Nobody's throwing balls at each other. It's just strictly business.
Did
Damn.
did Harmon reference like the pod when you guys like didn't have anyone? Was he talking about the fact that you guys weren't going to have anyone play with you in the practice round?
Oh, yeah. When we walked, he was like, you want to play? And I said, yeah. And then we were walking towards the tee, and I said, have you told everybody they can't play with us yet? He's like, oh, they know.
They know. They know.
What a funny guy.
So funny.
Doesn't matter if somebody was on the tee or walked up on the tee. Doesn't matter. They're not playing with us.
By the way, I took a long shot on him to win the PGA. He didn't win the PGA, but there was a moment where he was like 3 or 4 back.
Yeah.
On like
Yeah, he
Saturday.
made a run on Saturday and got in there. He told me he wasn't hitting it very good, but he's making a lot of putts, and then he didn't make putts on Sunday.
Yeah.
That day he came on the pod, we went to the tournament and the championship, and we saw him walking off. And we're like, how'd it go out there? He's like, I played 9 holes. It was whatever. He was just like, so like, it's whatever out there. And then, yeah, he was in contention. I'm like, man, I guess it really doesn't matter how you're playing Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Practice
These guys
rounds
can
suck,
turn it
man.
on.
You never know. You could stripe it in practice rounds, shoot 80 in the tournament, or hit it terrible and shoot 65 in the tournament.
Crazy.
Unreal.
All right.
All right, kids. Well, thanks for hopping on, man. This is really cool. This really adds
Let's go,
to
kids.
like
Good luck this week.
what we got with you. Like to
It's our
have
dog.
days like this is pretty awesome. You know, you're preparing
Yeah,
for.
y'all want
PGA
me to
Tour
put my Champions jacket on for you?
Oh
Yeah.
Yes,
would love
please.
to see it. Would
Yeah,
love
we
to
want
see
it.
I know you were looking at it, dude. I could see.
Well, Russ is probably
there was a-
freaking ironing it or something.
There was a moment where you were describing this champions dinner, and you were looking off camera at what you were gonna wear, and I figured it must be.
Does he have the
sitting there.
camo underneath it? When
Oh,
he
he's-
comes back in frame.
Look at this. I can't
Russ
wait.
probably got like ketchup on it or something.
I can't wait to see this.
Oh!
Yeah! Let's go.
Champion!
It's nice, not.
It looks really good with the camo and
Yeah,
the plaid. It really shines. Maybe
is
I'll wear
so
that as
you.
my. Can I fit a tie on this and just go? You think?
I think so,
I think
yeah.
that would make
kind
a
of
wave.
popping right now. That looks good.
Looks
dude.
really good.
Yeah.
Looks fantastic.
Yep.
It's
Awesome.
a winner,
It's nice
dude.
and fit too. Did they get that to your sizing?
They get them custom made for us. I haven't come up too much weight in the last 9 years.
Bursting out that thing.
Brother, you played in this event, and there were 140 or 50 other PGA Tour professionals, and you beat all of
It's
them.
unbelievable.
All right, can you remember who I beat to win?
Hold
This is
on.
a good trivia question for you. You always throw shit on me. I'm throwing it back on you.
Me and Frank are sitting here
You
just looking
guys
at
by
rigs.
one shot.
Hold
I'll
on.
give you a hint. One of which no longer plays on the PGA Tour.
Jim Furyk.
Jim Furyk.
No, John Rahm and Jordan Spieth.
No way.
Oh.
That's nice.
Yeah, Jordan, I'll never forget. I hit it in the right rough, smoked a lady in the neck off the tee. Like, felt terrible. Caught a flyer, hit it over the green. I had a one-shot lead. I was in the back
Poked her in the
like
neck.
collection area, and I putted it from off the green down there to maybe 4 feet. And I was reading the putt from behind the ball, and Jordan is standing in the TV tower behind the green to see if I make it or not. And I saw him out of the corner of my eye before I made it.
Oh.
And I was kind of fired me up. I was like, dude, this is cash. You're out of here.
This guy was, at that time especially, this guy was made for 4-footers, dude.
Yes. Now you might as well have thrown it back to me back then.
I remember the Wyndham Championship when you won like a 6-person playoff, which was a huge weekend for me because that's when I had tweeted that I would root for Europe if you lost. And you ended up winning the tournament. But I asked you about, because Adam Scott, I think it was, missed a short putt in the first playoff hole to win the whole thing. Second playoff hole, Kiz hits one in there like 4 feet. And I remember talking to you about it and you going something similar in line with Joel Damon's comment where you were like, I knew as long as everyone remained breathing around there was 0% chance I was missing my putt.
I tell the funny story about that one is as Adam Scott's like going in through his routine, we're way off to the edge of the green, and I had taken all my tees and ball markers and glove and put them back in my bag. I'm talking to Dewey. I grabbed my watch and my wallet, put my watch back on, and I was like, maybe one day, Dewey, we'll have a 4-footer to win one of these, because I'd been 0 for 5 in playoffs, and I'd never done anything, like I hadn't missed a 4-footer in any of the playoffs. I hadn't really done anything to cost me a tournament, and he misses it. And I was like, oh, shit, I got to go play another hole. So I take all my stuff off, get my stuff back, and then 9 minutes later, I hit it in there to 4 feet, and I've got 4 feet to win. And all Dewey said as I was putting my ball down was, well, kid, here's your chance.
Oh my God.
So good.
Yeah.
So good.
Built
Dewey.
for that moment.
God damn it, that's great.
Here's your chance.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner.
That's right, baby.
Come on, kids.
Come on,
Play
kid.
well this
That's
week, my
awesome.
brother.
All right, y'all be safe getting home, man. Let me know everything went well, and we'll catch up on Monday.
All right,
Good luck,
man.
dude. We're
Play
rooting
well
for
this
ya.
week. Play well.
Best of luck, brother.
All right, man. Thanks.